Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JayLeesCorner. It is Saturday, okay, and I'm usually not live on Saturdays for gossip stuff, but because I did not go live yesterday for stuff, I was like, let's go live today, okay? So we're gonna have a little watch along because Kimmi and Maurice, honey, was on Fox Soul last night with Funky Dineva, Claudia Jordan, and Al Reynolds, and that was a cringy interview. So we're gonna get into that and Kimmi's, disapproval, but also Kimmi's defense of Maurice, which I was confused about. Okay, we're gonna get into Monique's live discussing her divorce in full. That's a quick little thing or whatever, and then Keke Palmer kind of, Keke responding to the stuff going on in the world, and then some Britney Spears stuff, some Kim Zolciak stuff, and then other little things around here. Okay, so thank you for those who are tuning in right now. Thank you those who will be watching the read of the play, okay? But y'all know first things first, do a couple things for me. Please be sure that you've already subscribed to my channel to become a whole JayBirds, and okay? Because if you here and you're not subscribed, but you keep coming back, why not just subscribe, okay? And keep watching. You got to be a subscriber and a watcher, okay? Thank you for that. Also, you can follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner on IG, Twitter, and the TikTok. I have been posting on TikTok, y'all. When certain things happen, because I can talk longer on TikTok. I have been posting a couple things here, a couple things there on TikTok. So make sure that y'all see me over there too. Okay. Now y'all know to please like the video, please and thank you. Also share the video and whatnot. And y'all know the comments in the comment section because we round here having a conversation between me and between y'all because that is what we do. Okay. Now I am here. Wait, I forgot. Girl, I forgot. Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. And look, I know y'all could be elsewhere because it's Saturday. It's Saturday. However, as a content creator, I have to get some work done on Saturdays and stuff. So that's why we are here. Okay? Now, we're together. Now, let me say hi to the people in the comment section because I have nothing over yet. And thank God the mic was on. Okay? But hey, how y'all doing? Okay, happy to be around here on the corner on a good old Saturday. Okay? Yes, I love it. Okay? Hey to all people Hi. And we do have some, because look, at first, when I watched the Kimmi and Maurice interview yesterday, I had recorded it, and I was going to I was going to just put up the interview without any commentary. Okay, but I was like, nah, I have things to say. We have to watch it together. So no, I can't do that. So that's why we around here today and we got live, because it was some foolishness or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? It's the thing to do was to have the conversation together, because if not, it's like, what else is we gonna do? Okay, so let's say it. You know what I'm saying? Keke and them, Kimmi and them, Monique and them, Brittany and them, Kim Zodiac and them, and then some, random foolishness in between. Okay, but we not gonna be here long, okay, because again, it is Saturday. Okay. So that's still one of my rest days. Okay. And I have other things to do, record and get things done. Okay. But I'm happy y'all came by. You could have went and been outside partying. You could be somewhere else. You could be sleeping. You could be somewhere doing it or whatever. I don't know. You could be doing anything else but being here. And I thank y'all for that. Okay. So again, thank you for the live watchers. Thank you for the people watching the replay. Okay. And those who are commenting in the comment section. Okay. But happy Saturday. Hey. I'm a Saturday in Virginia. Look, it is warm all around. And the crazy thing is, like, for YouTubers, like, summertime is different because folks be outside in the summer. So sometimes our viewership is not as high in the summer because some folks ain't around here. Now in the winter, when most of us are at home chilling or whatever, it be other folks. But again, we still here together, and we're not. I hope it's to. That's why I made it at 5. That's why I was like, no, you not. I'm not going on tonight because I'm gonna be busy or whatever. I was like, no, make it at 5. Okay, so that way you can get out the way and still have the rest of your evening to do things. Okay, but hey. It doesn't hear, and I'm glad to be on with you. Well, thank you, Bridget. I'm happy to be chilling with you too. I love it. Anyway, look, the people. Okay, the people. Now look, I did not make any graphics. Okay, besides this one. Okay, and we're gonna be sharing everything from my IG. Okay, except Monique's. Monique was live for. Honey, I don't know. It had to be like maybe like 2 hours. It was at least an hour and a half, and I cut it down to about maybe 15 minutes of her discussing the divorce. Y'all having to sit. Look. I'm not a Monique hater, and I mean Monique Samuels. I'm not, whatever. But I swear she talked a lot like me. I talk a lot too, so I get it. But she was also talking a lot about her, that oil line. And I be like, okay. Also, look, I bought one of these. Look, so y'all know the code is this. Look, this is not sponsored. I spent my $48 on this. So I have been eyeing the coldest water bottle because, like, I drink a lot of water. Okay, and when I be asleep, sometimes I get a little thirsty or whatever, and I hate having to, roll over, grab a water bottle, sit up, okay, to drink out of it. You want the ice to be cold. I like ice cold water. And I'm like, well, the coldest water bottle has the thing on it already. It keeps stuff cold. I'm going to buy it and see. I know red is my favorite color. And so I bought this. It came in the mail, I think Wednesday or Thursday. And so I put ice in it on Thursday. The ice just melted today. You know what I'm saying? So I love this little thing. So I'm probably going to be drinking out of this forever. I got 2 of them. This one is usually in my room. I'll be probably use the purple one I got. But this is really, really great. Okay. Look, I don't know. This is a 40-ounce insulated tumbler with a straw, the little thing or whatever. See, this one was 40 with tax. It was $48. I wanted to get the one that was a gallon, but I have so many tumblers already that are at least 32. I'm like, I don't need that. The gallon one was like $100. I was gonna get two of those, but I was like, no, get the 240. This get 240 ounces. Again, it keeps your ice cold for like up to 48 hours. It works. So for me, when I'm sleeping and I want some water, I will have ice cold water near my bed, and I only have to put ice in it like every 2 days. So I love it. But again, and it's not sponsored. I just want y'all. This, you know what I'm saying? I just like it. Anyway, let's get here. Okay. Hi, I'm happy that I caught alive. I got here. I got here. Look, and I have things to say. Okay, it's cool. So let's get into the stuff I had because it's been 10 minutes. So I saved a whole bunch of things. I tried to do stuff in the order I want to talk about it, but I added some stuff at the last minute. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. I got so I have other tumblers that were less expensive that I've been using that works great. The reason I wanted a coldest one was because I just heard great reviews of it. I like that this is like a sports type one, meaning how, you know what I'm saying? I just liked it. And I was like, I just liked it. See, there are cheaper brands, there are cheaper ones. You know, you don't have to get one from Coldest, okay? Because again, the one that y'all had seen me with, the green one that had the white top on it, that's one too, but it didn't have no straw to it. So, you know, and here when I'm talking, my mouth gets dry. I'm talking for 2 hours. Okay, so now I can be hydrated, not have no dry mouth, and not to worry about nothing. Okay, but let's get to around here. Okay. So look, a few things have been happening. You know what I'm saying? We want to say congratulations. Look, Sha'Carri Richardson, who I feel like had got popular. Then folks kept poking at her for little itty bitty stuff or whatever. She kind of went away for a little minute. She came back and she around here snatching stuff. Okay, she wigs, meter races and all that stuff. She won the 100-meter dash or whatever. I think she's doing great, but I kept seeing the caption. I kept seeing the title of Sha'Carri Richardson snatches her wig off. I was like, why does that matter? Now, we know before she used to come out and she used to have wigs on or whatever. And I feel like her snatching her wig off was like a let me show you who I am now. I don't need this wig. I got my braids and whatever. I'm a whole new person. Okay. And she snatched it off.
Kingston with 10.65. Good look.
And I'm like, clearly she snatched it off because it was like, you know, I'm new. I got my braids in. Okay, I don't need all of this. And I'm like, it was not that it was a trick, but she snatched it off knowing her hair was perfectly braided up underneath. You know what I'm saying? I like how she did it, but I don't like the narrative of it being a point that she snatched the wig off. I was like, ma'am, it's okay. She also around here running. Okay, running. And because she's a runner. You know? She's track and field. Okay, champion. Now, she won, okay, because I say you can show them better than you can tell them as you come on up and win at the last time. Okay, so yeah, she out here doing it. And I feel like people should rally around her even more because I'm hoping all the stuff that happened like last year, that she understands that people support her, but she also has to just act right. That don't mean fit in no box. That just means don't let folk poke you to don't let people poke you to react and say something that they'll then critique later. Okay, be you, be all that you can be. Okay, in your own skin. And
the last time, I think I stood here on this stadium with you, and I did an interview when I knew I wasn't ready to do it. But now I stand here with you again, and I'm ready, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And I'm here to stay. I'm not back. I'm better.
Come on now. I was like, I'm not back. I'm better. I love it. She feels a bit more lighter than me. Like y'all know, I think her mom had passed away. It was a lot going on that was messing with her. Okay, all that stuff, and her saying, "I was here last time interviewing with you," might I add, and I wasn't ready then, but I did it anyway. And her doing that anyway got more bad press or whatever. And her saying, you know, what I'm saying, I'm back, and I'm better. I'm sorry, I'm not back, I'm better. Meaning mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, I'm good. Okay. And I love it. Okay. I love it. I love it. So I hope she goes far, 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 far. I feel like not enough attention goes to the, you know, athletes around here. You know, back in the day and back in my younger day, okay, we used to love the athletes, okay, folks going to the Olympics. And I want more emphasis being put on the amazingness that they're doing and not have no weird ass headlines. Oh, she snatched the wig off. No, she took the wig off to show y'all I'm about that life. I'm about that business. I'm here to do this work. Okay, leave me be. You know, and sometimes in life we need time to heal. We need time to focus. We need time to be our better selves. And I love her saying, "I'm not back. I'm better." Come on, let them know. Let them know. Okay, so we're gonna support Miss Richardson. We're gonna support her, even if she mess up, even if she cuss somebody out tomorrow. So we're gonna love her anyway. Okay, that's what we do around here. Okay, and you know I like her braids too. Okay, and I also feel like, girl, you don't need no wig. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Okay, it's cute. We love it. So, congrats to Miss Ma'am. I need to follow her social media. I gotta find her. Now this is weird. Okay, I told you I saved stuff randomly, whatever. I wanted stuff to be in order, but I can't have it in order. So you know, with the whole, you know, Keke Palmer boyfriend saying blah 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 whatever. So Jonah Hill's ex-girlfriend, I guess she's trying to expose him as like being an emotional abuser. And so she posted all. Now, look, first of all, I like Jonah Hill. You know, I like Jonah Hill. I've never like heard him being problematic or whatever. I feel like he be around here smoking weed, eating healthy cookies, drinking water, you know what I'm saying? Just being a white man around here, okay? So I was like, what he do? What he say? What happened? Okay. And in she posted a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. And you know, Jonah Hill, I feel like I like a lot of his movies. I feel like he, you know what I'm saying, is a happy, jolly white man, for lack of a better term. And I also can understand if somebody wants to be like, you know what, I want to speak my truth because people don't know he's a horrible person and he abused me, and I feel power now to speak up. Now, y'all, yeah, a folks saying trying to ride the wave of the Keke situation. But when I went, and I'm not going to read all these texts, but a synopsis of it is he was trying to tell her what his boundaries were for a relationship, what he did not like, what he did not want to put up with. But in my opinion, reading it, I'm like, it just sounds like he's being honest. And in private, he's like, look, you doing these things, but I don't want to be with somebody who does those things. And she, it seemed like, is taking it as, well, you're threatening me that you'll leave me if I don't do what you want me to do that fits inside your box. And I was like, I don't really see it that way. I feel like as an adult, it's okay for anyone to say what their boundaries are. It's up to you as a person to know if that means y'all can still be together. It may mean that y'all not compatible. Okay, it might mean y'all are not compatible. It looked like she said all the posts removed from my page. And him, a good start. You don't seem to get it, but it's not my place to teach you. I've made my boundaries clear. You refuse to let go of some of them, and you've made that clear. And I hope it makes you happy. I said, oh, okay. And when she released more stuff, sharing this publicly now because keeping this myself was causing more damage to my mental health than sharing it could ever do. But I feel like you don't have to tell the world, Craig, of what you went through with your boyfriend, because it ain't our business. Now, if you want to your cousins and your friends, okay, put that in close friends, put that in the family group chat, then do that, okay? But try, in my opinion, when anyone does this, and it doesn't come off as the person did something wrong and you're trying to warn the next person, you seem a little bit attention seeking, and that goes for men and women. Okay, when men post old texts from their girls, you seem like you want some attention when there seems to be that nothing happened. And I mean, publicly, man, we didn't care. Okay, and we see this is from December of 2021. So almost 2 years ago, because it's now July 2023. And plain and simple, if you need surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men, to model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures, friendships with women who are in unstable places, and from your wild recent past, beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful, I am not the right partner for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it. And there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for romantic partnerships, my boundaries with you based on the ways these actions have hurt our trust. Now, I read that and I said, that don't sound abusive to me. Some people, men or women, don't want certain things in a partner. And some people are willing to accept that. But someone being honest and open about what they don't want, like if you like these things, if you need these things, then I'm not the person for you. That's not abuse. They're not compatible because what she wants to do, he don't like. And it's like, why did you put us in your group chat almost 2 years later? I'm like, what the hell? Okay. And she put it out as if he was doing something wrong. And in my opinion, he was just telling your friend, I don't like that. I don't want to do that. You want to do that? Okay, well, cool. Do that. I'm happy for you. But we can't be together. It's like if someone's vegan. If a man is vegan or whatever, and he like, I don't want anyone who eats meat. You can't eat nothing that I am saying that's his. I don't want to be with somebody who does these things. I'm gonna have a steak. I am as a plus size woman. I am a meat and potatoes person. I could not be with someone who's a vegetarian who would not be acceptable. Is that the word? Accepting of me eating meat. So we would not be compatible. And if someone's thing is like, you know what, I don't want a woman who is actively surfing with men and having fun with me, okay, well, I'm not the person for you. But see, this is the gotcha, Miss Dion. He's not saying I need you to change in order to be with me. He's saying if that's what you like, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to be with somebody who does this. I don't think she should have to change anything. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. I think he's making I think people sometimes feel like setting boundaries are trying to restrict the person from doing things. I don't agree. I feel like there are things in life with men And if it's stuff I don't like with men, I'm gonna say I don't like that. And if we can't find some kind of compromise into these things, then we're not compatible. Because if you like to do, if you want to go out every night, get drunk every night, we always out partying and bullshitting, we can't be together. That don't mean that you can't go out and party and hang out with other fools who drinking and all. You can do whatever you want to do, but we not compatible because when you do that, it's gonna make me mad because I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? We as people, each person, meaning male or female, has the right to tell somebody else what they like in life, what they don't like in life. That's a part of dating. When you're dating, you're supposed to see if you hate the toothpaste cap off the toothpaste and I can't ever put it back on, we may not be able to be together. If you cannot sleep with the fan on, we cannot be together because I always have my fan on. If you smoke cigarettes, if you smoke weed, we can't be together. I don't like that. If you are a avid drinker who likes to get drunk and party and bullshit, I can't do that. If you like hanging around with your hood rat friends who do hood rat shit and get into hood rat trouble, we can't be together. Why? Because I don't like that. You can do what you want to do. But while we're dating and I'm seeing things that you do that I don't like, I should voice that and we can see what we shouldn't be together. And if he's saying, if you like those things, because he said, if you need these things, then I'm not the right person for you. It's like, well, okay, well, cool. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you for not wasting more of my time. Let me know upfront. If you like being pegged, I ain't the one for you because I ain't pegging no damn body. I don't have a pegger. You know what I'm saying? I feel like people should be more adults, more grown up, and understand someone telling you what they don't like is not always a threat. It's not always something like I need you to change. Don't do this, don't do that. You're an asshole. But that's a part of dating. There's reasons that people break up, and usually it's because something about the other person isn't compatible. It isn't. And in my opinion, she had the text from then, and she's making the accusation that he was being abusive to her in these messages, and I feel like all this shit it's a lot. Okay, she posted a whole lot, and he said, like, I respect your love of surfing, but I respect myself as well. And your love of surfing and being in these situations and lack of awareness are not mutually exclusive. This isn't me. I have my own issues that I own. If you want marriage and family, you can't use the 25 cards. Step up and cut shit. These people don't get your time or your kindness at the sacrifices of mine. And I think what that kind of means is, it's like even when you are a regular person, if you want to pick your friends of your man or your friends of your girlfriend. And at some point in relationships, you do have to make choices about what you like. The fact of the matter is, she don't like him. Because what she like to do, he don't like. What she like to do, he don't like. That means he is not for her. So not only is she not for him, he ain't for her. But I really encourage people that when you're in the dating stage, figure out what the person do, what they don't do, what you like, what you won't like. Because if you consistently put up with things that aggravate you, that get on your nerve, it's gonna fester. It's gonna fester and get worse. And I think it's better to know up front what don't work for you, for y'all to end on positive terms, meaning ain't no hatred here. We don't work. Like we ain't compatible and that's it. Versus staying together, he always pissed, she always feels defensive, and then it becomes an abusive situation to where she really do feel emotionally or mentally or verbally abused by what he said. You know, and if more people understood, it's not about somebody abusing you emotionally or trying to manipulate you into becoming someone they want you to be. Sometimes, not all the time, sometimes it's literally about them telling you what they want, and that ain't you, because y'all not compatible, and that's okay. Go find a fucking swim. If she loves surfing and that shit, go find a surfer dude. You ain't no damn surfer dude. But I felt like her putting out these texts was for sure out here trying to jump on the Keke baby bandwagon of let me show you how bad he is to me from 2 years ago. And even her saying, it makes me feel like you're testing me to see if you should keep me around or dump me. Because there's something wrong with me. Like I'm nerdy, dorky, unaware, naive, idiot socially. I hear you. He like, those not my words, those your words. I didn't say that. Now again, she posted probably everything they had. Everything. And then posted, I'm like, first of all, white lady, you can't post this song. You can't say keep that nigga. Okay, first of all, you racist. I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, and whatever. And then he's moved on. He get out my face. Okay, get out my face. And again, this is not negating how a woman feels. This isn't, oh, you're picking the man's side. No, it's about common sense and being okay with someone explaining to you what they don't want in a relationship, and if you feel what they have boundaries around is a part of your lifestyle, then y'all not. Can you imagine if Nemo out in the ocean wanted to be with a camel in the desert? Can you imagine? Nemo, who's a fish in the water, wanting to be with a camel in the desert on the sand. Y'all not compatible at all. A penguin who needs to be around here in the coldness of Antarctica cannot be with a mountain lion in Africa. Even I think lions can get around cold sometimes too. My point is, the penguin and someone in the hot desert, they're not compatible. The lion, honey, Mufasa will be telling the penguin, you're around there with your cold ass friends. You won't come be with me here in the heat. Okay? Y'all in the ice water all the time. I don't like it. I need you around here with me. I need you to not want to be around there in ice cold water. But you know what I'm saying? The penguin like the ice cold water. Mufasa, you can't be with the penguin. Y'all not compatible at all. Now Mufasa want to fuck around with a giraffe. It may be able to work out. You know? It could happen. I'm just right. And Jonah Hill has moved on. Another girlfriend has a whole kid now. When your ex start putting out old texts once you moved on, right? That's why you anti-mermaid. I don't say, you know what I'm saying? It's just different, you know. And I'm just like, we have to get to a point where we can understand it's not about someone trying to, sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, sometimes it's not about someone trying to mislead you into to downsize in your lifestyle to fit theirs. It's about, hey, that's what they want and we ain't compatible. And that's it. and we're gonna move on, okay? But I'm still mad at this white woman putting up keep it nigga. I don't like it. I don't like it, and I don't like that she. It's the fact that she has the whole thing up there, the whole. And I know IG let you put up, the how you want to be read. No, no, she should. This is something that should have stayed in the group text, not us. We did not need to be involved. Okay, so ma'am, get out of our face. Okay, now speaking of people and scandals and how they do things, Lil Meech and Summer Walker is like, look, I know that girl said that, my man got her pregnant, but we got here together. Okay. Summer Walker like, look, I don't got time for you hoes. I don't have time. Oh, you hoes. I don't like y'all. Y'all get on my nerves. I'm gonna be up here posted up with my man, all day. All day. You can't convince me he got you pregnant. And if he did get you pregnant, I'm next, girl. Summer Walker like, look, I'm gonna sit beside him. I ain't going nowhere. He mine, sis. He cute. He got money. You can't convince me he not giving her good. He not giving her good. You know what I'm saying? And so Summer like, that's my man. I'm gonna sit beside him all day. Every day. I still don't believe the girl who said that he got her pregnant. I still need more proof besides that pregnancy test that she got out of Google. But the couple around here is coupling. Okay, the couple around is coupling, and she said, "I'm gonna show them off." In case y'all wondering, look, and truth be told, they're a cute couple. He's a handsome young man. She's a beautiful woman. I just don't get her pregnant. Summer don't need no more kids right now. She got the little girl named Bubbles, them twins. Like, I just don't want them to have kids right now. If y'all together in 2 more years, maybe. Because I don't think he has any kids. But get 2 years. Get 2 years and then maybe let him knock you up. But don't get knocked up too fast. Don't do it. Also, somebody else want her vacationing, okay? Look, something about this looks weird, and I don't know what. It's a beautiful sunset, We see she trying to show off her new baby. So y'all know Just Hilarious, who around here in love or whatever. It's a cute thing. I'm not saying that she don't deserve love. I'm not saying they may not be together and in love. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is, sometimes when people want to show off their love and affection, that sometimes it comes off a little staged. This comes off a bit staged. Okay? Like, oh, let's laugh. Picture water. Okay? It's cute, though, but it just feels a little bit staged, whatever. And then, it was like, what?
What's up? I'm so scared.
See on my cheek.
Video shorty.
What's up, girl?
What's up? I'm so scared.
See on my cheek.
I'm not saying nothing besides it feels a little different. Maybe he not used to being on camera. I think they may be parasailing or whatever. They may be up in the air. It could be mean things. But she said, again, I'm around here. I'm with this man or whatever. We having fun. We kissing on the foreheads, we kissing on cheeks or whatever. That's what we do. It's, okay. Cheek kisses and forehead kisses on boats. Have fun. Have fun. So we will see if they stay together, whatever. I don't know. It's whatever. Now let's get into some random foolish shit that I'm like, why y'all doing these things? Why y'all doing this? Okay. So here in Detroit, I be trying not to get, what I'm saying? First of all, like the video. Y'all don't like it is the thing to do. So here in Detroit, people are doing dumb things. Okay, that happens often though. But let's discuss. So this fool was caught on camera stealing. Okay, caught on camera stealing, and not even stealing in the right way. I'm like, sir, what's the point of you putting a jacket up your face? We can still see your whole face, sir. Now, he's still wanted as of a day ago. They made crimes of him, but suspect steals checks from Detroit mailboxes, okay, and withdraws $100,000 in 2 days. It says a man is wanted for allegedly stealing multiple checks from mailboxes in Detroit and withdrawing over $100,000 in 2 days. He deposited the checks at multiple ATM locations in Detroit. He would deposit over $17,000 each time. Okay, so he's depositing these stolen checks into, his account or whatever, and then he would then withdraw the money before the bank could figure out the checks were fake or they were fraudulently stolen checks, not checks anyone gave to him. I'm like, what bank would you at? Because usually when you deposit money in a bank, it has to clear before you can take the money. I say, first of all, you dumb, because do you not know the ATMs have cameras in them and they can see you? Okay, and I'm like, we see your whole face. Had a whole nice haircut, a whole Puma jumpsuit. And I'm like, they see you. That show how dumb he is. Because you did not even think hard. You ain't got no sunglasses, no hat, no nothing. And you can get, it's face masks all around. You can get even a regular face mask. Nothing. Your jacket, sir. Not your jacket. And I also feel like he has to work for the either work for the post office or know someone who worked for the post office, because you would have to know people who got their checks. And also it's probably people who order checks from their bank that you can then fill out yourself, because that's the only way for him to be able to deposit all this money and take it out at the same time. Because if folks order checks to come in the mail, you take their mail. I'm just assuming. I don't know. Because I'm looking like it couldn't have been like other people's checks. Because he was depositing up to $17,000 each visit. Because I don't know who get checks that fucking often. But if you get a hold of somebody's checkbook and keep writing checks, that could happen. Either way though, he's stupid. And I'm pretty sure he will be caught soon. Why? Because his whole face is on the camera. Your whole face is there. They see everything. Okay? Stupidity. More stupidity. Amazon manager sentenced to 16 years in prison for scamming company out of $10 million. reportedly bought a mansion in Lambo. Every time we discuss people scamming their jobs out of out of 6 and 7, 8-digit numbers. The fact that you don't leave the fucking country don't make no. If I scam 10 million out of my company, I'm going to the first country that does not have extradition. Okay? Because you can't come get me. Not today, not ever. Okay? So it says, this is per neighborhood talk, an Amazon manager is responsible for curating a nearly 10 million fraud situation, has been sentenced to 16 years in prison. The woman reportedly bought a fancy Lamborghini in a mansion with a portion of the money. And her girlfriend was allegedly a co-conspirator of the whole ordeal. Is it Karica or is Kayrick? That sounds like Karica. Karica Wortham, 32, was the operations manager at Amazon warehouse in Atlanta. Not Atlanta, Lord Jesus. They scamming in Atlanta. Y'all. Well, she was a warehouse manager at Amazon in Atlanta, Georgia, before she got caught. She worked at Amazon from August of 2020 to March of for 2 years. You stole damn near 10 million in 2 years. August of 2020 to March of 2022, and said they started the scheme by submitting false invoices for fake vendors. And then she would redirect the funds to herself and others that were in the scheme. Oh, it was a team of people. Again, it said that she was submitting false invoices for fake vendors, meaning I'm gonna send a bill to Amazon as Boo Boo the Food Industries. You owe Boo Boo the Food Industries $10,000 for something, and Amazon is like, oh, I gotta pay the invoice, and it's paid, even though it's a fake company, and she was sending money to herself. If you are wondering how Amazon did not catch on to everything, that's where her girlfriend came into play. Brittany Hudson, 37, Hudson allegedly owned a business contracted by Amazon to deliver packages and help Wortham submit the fake invoices. According to documents, the New York Post, Wortham is being charged with wire fraud. The crime involves 6 other workers. Lord, that girl, is it a RICO charge? There's got to be a RICO charge, because that is an organization. That's the mafia. Girl. It says, okay, so again, she's been charged with wire fraud. The crime allegedly involves 6 other workers. Not only did Wortham purchase a Lamborghini with the stolen money, but also bought a Tesla, a Porsche, and the mansion for $1 million. Bitch, you bought a mansion in Atlanta, Georgia, or this in Georgia, while stealing millions from Amazon, bitch. You is stupid. You bought a mansion in the same location of where you stealing from. You didn't go buy an island. You didn't go buy a flying boat to fly your ass out the country. I told y'all this, and I'm not advocating for folks to be stealing. But if you're gonna be stealing, you should always leave, because they are going to catch you. Okay. Upon her arrest, the feds reportedly seized all the funded property, which was revealed to be worth $2.7 million altogether. After representing herself in court, she was ordered to pay back $9.5 million in restitution to Amazon and faces 3 years of supervised release after she serves her sentence. First of all, you stole $10 million from Amazon and you could not afford a lawyer. I'ma need y'all when you stealing from your jobs. Because y'all be stealing. Get you a lawyer on return. Pay somebody up front for when you get caught. Okay? Pay them up front for when you get caught. Stupid. So you have to pay back $9.5 million. And where you gonna get it from? You can't work nowhere. You stole $10 million from Amazon. That's why my damn packages be late. I ordered some charms from Amazon. What's today? Today's Saturday. On Wednesday. This shit's still in transit from some damn well. A judge has wrong button. A judge has pushed the sentencing for the other suspects involved in the crime to later dates. As for the girl, her girlfriend, who allegedly had their bond revoked after trying to open up the two girlfriends allegedly had their bond revoked after trying to open up a hookah lounge with forged signatures from a court. They are currently sitting on pending charges. So y'all out here stealing from Amazon, then trying to open a hookah lounge with fake documents. You know, stupidity is stupid. Stupidity is stupid. And I know, girl, I don't like dumb people. Also, speaking of dumbness, have y'all saw this clip? Because DoorDash drivers are getting out of hand. Okay, let's listen.
Hello.
Come here, Max. Next.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I just want to say it's a nice house for a $5 tip.
You're welcome.
Fuck you.
I said, sir, the fact that DoorDash delivery people be wanting us to tip them $10, $20, $15 or whatever is insane to me. But this man saying you have a really nice house, a really nice house, to only be tipping me $5. First of all, most tips are based on a couple of different things. Usually it's based on how much your food costs. She ordered a $20 pizza. Tipped him $5. Do I have to have a damn crack house in order for me not to be expected to give you more money? And it's the fact that she said, well, thank you. And he said, well, fuck you. I was like, nah, fuck you. Nah, oh, so sir, you don't need to, well, fuck your job. I feel like there's always been delivery drivers. Before DoorDash, you had, Pizza Hut, Domino's. We've had pizza places that deliver food. A lot of restaurants order, have delivery services. Okay, I don't think that DoorDash is a bad thing. Some DoorDash drivers are great. You know what I'm saying? I always tip $5. I tip based on the distance. How much food I order has nothing to do with you because you don't cook it. All you do is walk in and say, I have a pickup for Sojo. Get a bag and you bring it to me. I tip based on the distance. In my opinion, if I'm ordering something from my house and it's 5 miles or less away, I tip you $5. To me, that's a gallon of gas. And if it's further, I'll tip more. If I want from far away, I'll tip more. I'm not tipping you like $10, $15 for DoorDash. I'm not gonna do that. When I use my Ship app that does my groceries, I always tip them between $10 to $15, depending on how much I order. If I get cases of water, I tip $20 because you got to carry. I always get 4 cases of water, so I tip $20 if I'm doing water. DoorDash drivers who think that they can get a whole bunch of money from somebody is crazy to me. And I feel like when we see these drivers who be assholes, like those are not the typical drivers. They're not. Some folk are happy to be working, getting paid, getting a tip. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think I think anyone, look, anytime you have anyone prepare your food, it's a chance someone from the cooking staff, the waitress or whatever could do something. What I do like is that DoorDash, at least here in Michigan, in Detroit, you know what I'm saying? When I order DoorDash, the restaurant seals the bag. So you can see if someone opened it. You know, they seal the boxes off, so you will know if someone opened your bag and messed with it. So for me, I just have to make sure that the rest of my folk ain't fucking about shit up, okay? But this person right here he's stupid. Okay? It's dumb. It's ridiculous. You can't do that. You can't do that. And the fact that you're not fired, that's on you. That's on you. When I have issues with drivers, as long as my bag, and I rarely get drinks from places, but even now the drinks are sealed to where you can, the top is sealed, the straw part is sealed, so if anybody mess with it, you can see. I think they did that to avoid the dashers to be able to fuck with somebody's stuff and then the person don't know. You know, I also have Dash Pass, Tori. It's $10 a month. It's like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because I order DoorDash. I order lunch at work. I use DoorDash at least 5 times a week. Either for lunch at work or either dinner at home. Something. But here they have changed a lot to where when you order your food, it's sealed. So it's not as if, well, he could have fucked with our food. Here, even our pizza boxes are sealed. Either the box itself is sealed, the bag it came in is sealed, so you can know what's being worked on. But it's crazy. It's crazy. And you can't be upset because I live in a nice house. And me living in a nice house do not mean I gotta tip you a whole bunch of money. Now, if she ordered from somewhere that was 15 miles away, maybe be upset because the tip was $5. But I'm not. But you see the tip before you see the tip before you get there. Don't pick up no order if you don't like the tip. If it's too far, if it's whatever, then don't pick it up. But him saying, "Well, fuck you," because she said, "Well, thank you for being the delivery," because she could have said, "Well, fuck you," but she did not. She wasn't mean rude. He deserved to be fired. Period. The Dashers and Uber Eats drivers got used to people over tipping as a compliment during the pandemic. Now, during the pandemic, I was over tipping because you out in the streets. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. So I'm like, but that ain't no more at all. And I also feel like the same way I feel like when people say stuff like, well, a waitress or someone at McDonald's, where they say certain jobs don't pay enough to feed a whole family, to do this or do that. Some of these jobs are not meant for people who have a full family. Sometimes it's for a teenager, a young college student, or whatever. These jobs, to me, were not made to pay a lot to be able to support a whole household. You know? However, you're not going to get upset with me because I tipped you $5 when the suggestion was $2. Okay, it's just $2. I tip $5 because you picking up the pizza from 4 blocks away. I just don't feel like leaving the house because I'm busy. But don't be an asshole. And he learns. You learn the hard way sometimes. Now his ass is 5. Okay, you're 5. Anyway, let's get some congratulations, confetti. So congrats to the brats and Jessica. Okay, big booty Judy. They welcomed their son. Finally, it has happened to me right in front of my. I'm sorry. Anyway, they welcomed their son. He was born on July 7th. So that was the 6th. Because today's Saturday. He was born Thursday. He was born Thursday. Okay. Judy and the brat is mamas. Okay. They round here. I play a little bit.
Away from baby boy coming into this world, and you are very nervous. This is a
So that's Judy talk right there. Jackie, Dr. Jackie from Married to Medicine is talking. So Jackie delivered the baby because she had a C-section. Baby boy, true legend. Here, I can't play the audio because it's music playing in the background. Love boy, make things happen. That's the song playing. But the son name is True Legend Harris DuPont. Okay, was born July 6th at 8:30 p.m. He was 7 pounds, 8 ounces, 20 inches, long and as perfect as ever. We are overwhelmed with joy. We're overwhelmed with love. Very appreciative for such a blessing of our bundle of joy. The journey has been more amazing than we ever could imagine. Okay, and it's so cute.
That's the phone.
It's so cute. Girl, look, Brad said ain't nothing popping on my cooch. But she had a cesarean section. Mom and baby, we assume are doing great. Right, come on now, full makeup. Look, Brad out here in full makeup birthing the baby. Okay, full makeup birthing the baby. People think that's what they do now. You know, the days of women going to the hospital fresh faced, hair braided up or in a bun or whatever is no more. Now your hair done, nails done, makeup done or whatever, because you want to be cute for the pictures. Girl, I don't care. But congrats. Brats. I feel like those of us who grew up on the brat being funked about or whatever, I never thought I would see her pregnant. I don't know why. Even though before Brat came out as a lesbian, I feel like we all felt like she was gay. So it's amazing to see Brat out here birthing a baby. And I just feel happy that her and Judy have this full life, a whole baby together. The fact that it was Judy's egg, Brat carried. We don't know who the sperm, it was, a Caucasian sperm, Caucasian sperm or whatever. But again, baby boy is here. And even seeing the little clips of her, because I did not watch that show, but seeing the clips that her and Judy were posting on social media, the crazy questions Brad would ask, because she was like, is the baby gonna come out my vagina? Like, no, it's gonna be cut open or whatever. But it's just funny, and babies are a blessing. It's great. So congrats confetti to the new mothers. Okay, a baby boy, True Legend Harris DuPont. Okay. The True Legend. Cool. Okay. But who else named True? Because we know Chloe's daughter name was True. Nick Cannon, one of his kids' name was Legend. So True Legend. I don't know. It's fine. But congrats to the couple. Okay, they are parents and it's great. Now, let's get to some of the stuff, okay, that is on the thumbnail, okay? Because the thumbnail is what leads the pack. Because how long have we been on? We've been on, has it been an hour yet? It's been an hour. Okay, so let's get to it. This Britney Spears stuff. Let's start with Britney Spears. Now, y'all know I cannot show the video because TMZ always flags my videos when I show anything that I ain't got time. But I did post the video on my IG. I also posted the video on my TikTok. It's posted in slow motion. So if y'all, that's why I always say follow me, because some things I can't post on here because I don't want to get flagged, okay? Or have to cut it out. It's always crazy. I saw the footage, which is somebody's cell phone footage from across the hall. They zoom in. So what? I'm explaining what it was again. If you want to see it, it's been all over. It came out yesterday. It's all over social media, but it's directly on my IG and on my TikTok. You see a really tall man walking. You see people surrounding him, and you see a white lady running up. But let me see. So I want to look at it as I'm telling y'all. So I can do a play-by-play. So I can explain it the right way. You see a tall man walking, and it's people surrounding him. It's Brittany and some people with her as well. You don't know who she is. Not that matters. All I know is you see a tall man who we now know is an NBA player. He's with security who's walking. Their back is to this random white lady who's running up. Okay, who's running up in some damn white hooker boots behind him. Those probably are some expensive boots though. And from behind, you do see Brittany reaching out, trying to touch his back. Okay, you then see security does not turn around, but you see her hand going to touch him. You do see his security hand go up like this and swats her hand away. And as he swats her hand away, his hand does hit her face. His hand does hit her face. This is what I had an issue with. There's a difference in saying, while someone was swatting my hand away, I got hit in the face, versus saying I was slapped in the face by so-and-so security. Victor so-and-so, because I can't pronounce that man's last name. It's different. Now, my post said he did not slap her, because he didn't. What he did was he swatted her hand away, and his hand did that, and she got hit. However, I'm not going to say she hit herself, but I will say when he swatted her hand did go back. However, the security guy and the basketball dude, Victor so-and-so, no one turned around. They kept walking. Brittany saying I was slapped in the face, I was backhanded in the face, almost knocked over, was not true. She was not backhanded in the face. She was not almost knocked over. She was a stranger running up on someone who had security, and she tried to reach out and grab them, and they knocked her hand out the way, and inadvertently, she got hit in the face. It's a difference. When someone tell me, so-and-so security slapped me, they backhanded me in my face, I assume that we would have saw someone look at her and say, move out the way. Get out the way. And that ain't what happened. This was not in a situation of security being aggressive, as she made it seem like. Brittany's statement made it seem like security, which is just out here being flagrant foul, aggressive, and that ain't what happened. It wasn't. I don't think the only thing that could have happened differently would have been if once they saw that, inadvertently they hit her, oh, I'm sorry, but keep your hands to yourself. I'm security. My only job in this day and age where folks come around and shoot people and stab people and do crazy things, security's only job is to keep the client safe. Britney Spears, in my opinion, has white privilege. She has also celebrity privilege, where she felt like I had the right to run up in my hooker boots and get someone's attention because I wanted to get his attention as Britney Spears. And in hindsight, if a random black girl who noticed him ran up and got swatted, no one, oh my God, no, they would say, keep your hands to yourself. So they could have said, we're sorry that you were hit as I shooed your hand away. But my thing is, just because she's Britney Spears does not mean she should be running up trying to touch anybody, because I wouldn't want anyone running up on her trying to touch her. My loneliness is killing me. And I love Britney Spears. I was a fan of her songs back in the day. Still believe. You know what I'm saying? I know. So, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like people are ignoring the fact that in life, you're not supposed to run up and tap people you don't know. She don't know that man. We know of fans who, when we see them running up on, we always say, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Britney, she ain't no different. She ain't no, and she tried. Britney Spears tried to make this a situation of, I'm a woman, I am Britney Spears, and I did not hit his back. You know, I was backhanded. I was assaulted. I'm like, it's a reason the man wasn't arrested, because looking at the footage, it was clearly an accidental hit, because you were so close to the dude, his security swatted your hand. And because you were so close, when in the swat, you got hit in the face. Also because you're so short. You know, he's 7'4", I think. She's 5'2". So the fact of the matter was, you know, the security guy, in my opinion, did not do anything wrong. Did not. That being said, if she felt like, oh my God, you hit me, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, but please keep your distance from the person I'm supposed to be keeping safe. We've seen security do team too much on purpose. We've seen security turn around, look at somebody, and violently push them out the way. We've seen that. That wasn't this. They were walking in their movement, and then you seen a hand come up, and as security should do, move. Move. So, Britney Spears, ma'am, excuse me, don't play the damsel in distress. Don't play the I am a victim. And I stand with the people who have been abused. I stand with them. Girl. Because in my opinion, that just was not what happened. I'm not saying she should not feel like, you know, somebody, you know, hit her in the face and it should not matter. I ain't saying that at all. Not at all. What I'm saying, let's read Britney's statement. Okay, let's read what Britney said, just to bring some, you know, connection to. Because again, if y'all have seen the video, you know, let's see what she said it did not match. Okay, traumatic experiences are not new to me. Okay, I'm skipping over some stuff. I was not prepared for what happened to me last night. I recognized Nancy in a hotel lobby. I was going to dinner. I later went to a restaurant at a different hotel, and I saw him again. I decided to approach him. Why? If regular fans are not allowed to approach people, okay, if regular fans are not allowed to approach people, which is why they have security, Why can't Britney Spears feel like she made the decision to approach him and congratulate him on his success? Cool. Hey, from afar, congrats. Cool. Okay. It was loud, so I tapped him on the shoulder to get his attention. I'm aware that he said I grabbed him from behind. Now, she did not grab him from behind. However, she did touch him from behind. Same thing. We don't not play dictionary. Okay. But I simply tapped him on the shoulder. And she didn't do that. She was reaching to get his attention. Okay. His security then backhanded me in the face. The security did not backhand her in the face. Security swatted her hand away, and inadvertently she got hit in the face. Okay. Just saying. Nearly knocking me down and causing my glasses off my face. We didn't see any of that. None of it. None of it. None of it. Now, what was that? She was, after the SWAT happened, she stood there. She stood there. It was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Her boots didn't leave the floor. Her boots is made for walking. Never left the floor. She was not almost knocked over, almost knocked down. Okay. His security did not hit her. Period. This is embarrassing to share, with the world already out there. But it's important to share and urge people in the public. I think it's important to share this in story and urge people in the public eye to set an example and treat all people with respect, which means respect that man's boundaries and chill out. Physical violence is happening too much in the world, often behind closed doors. I stand with all the victims. You were not a victim of physical violence. You were a victim of someone swatting your hand away. That's it. That's it. I also don't appreciate, nor do I think it's funny, a last matter. When he was, I think when the play was on interviews, and they was asking him, he like giggled, but it wasn't as if he saw you get hit in the face and backhanded and laughed. He was in an interview after a game talking to reporters. Shut up. Britney, shut up. And I say that as a Britney fan supporter. We cannot be around here allowing people to make it seem as if they were physically assaulted, and that's not what happened. What happened was you ran up on someone in their security, reached around trying to get someone's attention. They said, move your hand, lady, and you were inadvertently hit in the face because you came too close to someone. If I were to see Beyonce, I'm not running up on Beyonce. I'm not running up on any celebrity. I am not getting close enough for them to touch me. Now, I will get close enough to get their attention, but I'm going to give at least 5 feet. People have to respect folks' boundaries and space. The only reason you got hit in the face was because you thought you were special enough to get close to somebody who you did not know. And you found out pretty fast, hey, I can't do that. But you should know that. You could have never got hit in the face if you were not at that man's back. Get out my face. Out my face. Okay? And that's on that. That man is innocent. I hope she watched it back and then see you were not backhanded in the face. Your hand was swatted. And because you were so close, and the man, the security guard's arms are also long, he hit you. But the way people do things these days, we see and hear stories all the time of folks stabbing folks, slicing folks, shooting folks, all this stuff. You are not exempt from not being allowed in someone's personal space just because you recognize them and you're Britney Spears. Okay. Anyway, I just had to say that because y'all, yeah, she did, whatever. No, wait, not this one. I'm moving it to Neo. Neo, is around here showing all the children. Okay, all the kids. Now, I felt like I was like, Neo is a baby Nick Cannon. Except Neo has created 3 separate families with women. He was in a relationship with Manietta, was cheating, got with Crystal, was cheating, got Sade pregnant, and now he's single. So Neo posted up with all 7 of his kids. Maddie and Mason, who are with Manietta, the 2 oldest 2. SJ, which is a junior for him. Roman and Isabella Rose, who was with his ex-wife, Crystal. Braden and Brixton, who was with the sad piece chick lady Sade. So Neo, I'm a father before I'm anything else. Not money, not fame, not even the love of the craft. I do this for them. They are my reason. I'm nowhere near perfect, and that's okay. My kids love me, and I die, kill, steal, whatever, to make sure they never need for anything. The best thing I've ever done. I love my tribe. I love my squad, and I will for all of this, and I will for all of this life and the next and the next. Now, this is the gotcha. I feel like congratulations, confetti. Okay, cool. But as I look at this picture, the fact that his younger daughter with his wife and his oldest son with the mistress lady are basically like the same age. Meaning, while you were in your marriage knocking up your wife, you were also knocking up somebody else. So every time these men come around here, I'm a great father. Your kids love you because they're children. Children don't understand the fuck upness of adult actions and behaviors until they're adults. So your children are supposed to love you. They don't realize you've made some decisions in life, hurt people, and have created these separate households. Now, he may not be like Nick as far, because Nick, I think, don't have all his kids together all the time. It seems like the kids are aware of each other. That's cool. But let's not make it seem like just because you're happy to have 7 kids, and we saw you say that you're not perfect. I get that. But let's not make it seem as if, oh, that's great. No, it's not. You're out here free balling it. And when you and Mayetta had them 2, the first 2, and at that point in time, he was saying at that time how he did not want more children, which is why Mayetta had went and got her tubes tied. For him to go and then have 5 more children with 2 other women is insane to me. Neo, I just look at him differently. Now, I seen Mayetta commented as well, because Neo posted this on his social media, whatever. Mayetta commented, this is what it's all about. These priceless moments with the kids that they will cherish forever. Great job, and thank you for including my bonus baby girl, Gigi. They are still talking about it, talking to the president of the U.S. and all the fun they had at the White House. Thanks, son. I'm like, so because Neo also took Mayetta and Keith. Isn't his name Keith? Manietta's married to Heath. Heath's daughter, Gigi. So but he has to. I feel like once you've done things like what Neo has done in his relationships with women, you should have to go that extra mile, because your oldest 2 kids, that's their sister. You should bring her along, because hey, that's the family. Okay, so kudos him. But I'm like, I also don't want to be praising him because he's doing what he should do. You created all these kids. You brought them into this world. You did that, bald-headed Neo. So you should be as great of a father as you could be, because you made this mess. To me, the only innocent person in this is Monietta. Monietta was the first person we knew of that he was with, you know, who he had kids with. After how things went with him and Monietta, I always felt like Neo had a fucked up button in his body. You know what I'm saying? Crystal married him, and you know she got done dirty, but I feel like she knew how he was. She thought he would not do her that way, and in my opinion, he did Crystal worse than Monietta because he was actively cheating on Crystal and had two babies. Got the same woman pregnant 2 times, who birthed 2 kids while they were still legally married. The fact that Crystal was going to divorce Neo. They called all the divorce, got remarried. And months after them getting remarried, we find out he had a baby with somebody else. And while finding out he had a baby with somebody else who was already born, the same heifer was pregnant again with his baby. So bald-headed ass Neo, to me, does not get my, yay, he's a great father. You should be. You've caused enough chaos. The least you can do is be great to the children. Okay? The least you can do, bald-headed Neo, is be great to the 7 children who you created. Because once they're older and they'll get old. So my little sister and little brother, who are the same age around about, so daddy, you was cheating on mama and had my sibling? Daddy, you ain't shit. Daddy, why you do that? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I feel like, let me ask Siri, but black Siri. Hey Siri, how old is Neo?
Neo is 43 years old.
He's 43 years old. Okay, I always say, stupid decisions are made for your 20s, not your 40s. And his younger kids are all 3 years or younger. He should know better. And let's hope he does better as he moves on. But I it's all for them. It should be. You old bald-headed bastard. Anyway, speaking of bullshit, I don't know who, what, when, where, why, and how anyone made the choice to include us in the bullshit of it all. The fact that Kim and Kroy are calling off their divorce to work things out for them punk-ass kids. I'm not punk-ass kids. Not punk-ass kids. But for their children. It's for the children. It's all for the children. What about the children? We're going to stay together for the kids. It's stupid. Okay? It's dumb. Now wake up. Hold on, y'all. My phone, I hear my phone go out. Kim and Corey on some bull stuff. Kim and Corey around here searching for a show, for attention, for something to pay the bills they have. But I also feel like they both now know they don't have enough money to be single. They don't have enough money to live apart. They don't have enough money to divorce. They're too broke. And I've said it before. Kim just wants to get back on TV. I don't want her back on TV. I don't want Kim back on Housewives. The fact that this episode that comes up tomorrow, Kim gonna be on there, it aggravates me. I'm gonna read that bitch for filth. Why? Because I don't like Kim on. I do not want Kim Zodiac weed smoking, cigarette smoking, wig wearing, wannabe white, but it's really more hillbilly ass on my TV for Housewives. I don't want it. Not at all. And y'all now want to divorce after all the lawsuits of y'all being sued, foreclosures, repossessions. Y'all done sold her wigs or her shirts, whatever. Now y'all want it's been for the kids. Y'all have aired each other out, called 911, 18,700 all these times. Now it's y'all want to call it off. I mean this with every fiber of my being. And I mean this disrespectfully. Man, fuck Kim Zolciak. And fuck Croy. Next up. Blueface. I don't like Blueface. I don't understand why the blogs post him. Blueface to me is a toxic blue dot in the world. Okay? You know, seeing him around here. First of all, the fact that you
Nasty.
Why? What's happening?
Son.
Why the fuck first of all, why is the captain so bare? I'm like, is this Airbnb? Because when I see people who have these spacious houses and they have a little those some things called, but it's not a cupboard. Why can't I think what it's called right? Girl, the pantry, girl. When the pantry is empty. So y'all broke. The baby mama's in the living room twerking with the hookers. Or other women. I won't say hookers. I mean they probably for the cooch. I'm just saying. The son is in the cabinet in the pantry. He's hungry. He's in an empty pantry looking for food. Okay, for Slim Jims, and you bring your bald. He's not bald. I can't call him bald. Your tackhead ass in here.
There's booty cheeks out here. You in here looking for chips and Slim Jims and shit. You ain't gay, is you?
I was like, I know he did not. First of all, kids like Slim Jims. I like Slim Jims. But why are you saying that the kid like what 4, 5? Why are you asking him? Hey, is booty cheeks out there? Why are you in here looking for snacks? Because he's a fucking kid. And then to say, are you gay? I was like, the kid should not. I feel the kid can't really understand what that even means. So not only do you follow him in and ask him that, you post it on social media.
Huh? Are you gay? You ain't gay, right? My man.
He may be gay. He don't even know. You got your son in the empty ass cabinet, an empty ass cupboard, asking if he gay, and then high fiving him because he's not gay. I'm like, first of all, sir, why is the pantry empty? Why? Why? Where's the food? Now his punk ass mama.
So no, ma'am. False alarm. False alarm. They ain't gone crazy, and he ain't seeing nobody's ass. I checked it out.
Lies. I blame his mama. Because every time there's some foolishness going around with Blueface, his mama is back there saying, oh, it's okay. He's great. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, ma'am.
Y'all sit right here while I go fondle with these young women for a little bit.
First of all, why is the baby? I just feel like, who put the baby in the corner like that? Who put the newborn baby? That's their newest daughter. The fact that the newest daughter is just lined up between all them pillows while daddy said, hey, y'all stay right here. I'm finna go find those some of these women's. You children, just be here. and watch yourselves. Okay? Watch it. I'm like, why ain't no, ma'am, no. I feel like when you put babies in between pillows, you leave breathing room. Okay? But y'all have the youngest baby girl. What if she just happens to roll over into the pillow? Face first in the pillow. And she can't breathe. Okay? What the fuck?
But all right, you in charge. You second in charge, all right? All right. All right.
And that's what's going on in the living room while the children are there basically watching themselves. And the mama gonna say,
"Oh, no, ma'am. False alarm, false alarm. They ain't gone crazy and he ain't seeing nobody's ass." I checked it out.
when?
I went off and they said he was not present to watch nobody's ass.
Meaning you called and asked them a question, they told you what you wanted to hear. Go get the kids. Go get them.
He just had to get him a little snack. So maybe he was trying to sneak a little peek. You know how they do.
Meaning, why have your children there doing all that? Anyway, my point is, another bad father and a bad grandmama is Blueface and his mama, and the mama.
Y'all sit right here.
The baby mama. That chick right there. Okay, it's all a fucked up situation. Look. This is why some folks don't need to procreate at all. Okay, it ain't supposed to happen, and ain't nobody listening to us when we saying, hey, some people need the choice to not be able to birth the baby because of the decisions they make. Okay, Wendy Williams' ex-husband Kevin Hunter sued over $20,000 credit card debt months after losing the alimony battle. Now I feel like Kevin should just file for bankruptcy, get a job at Walmart, and stop trying to get Wendy money. Okay? Because you dig yourself deeper and deeper in a hole. Okay? It said her ex-husband has been sued for allegedly refusing to pay his credit card bill. Per Radar Online, UBS Bank filed a civil lawsuit against Kevin in June and said that Kevin applied for a Visa signature card back in 2014. However, he breached the deal by failing to make the necessary payments. They say that man owed $20,176.83 plus attorney fees as of March 2023. He's failed to make the minimum monthly payment by the payment due date. They said they told him that he was in default back in January. He ain't made no payments. Okay, he ain't gonna pay. And Kevin said, I ain't got it. I ain't got it. Okay. Kevin keeps trying to blame Wendy. I'm like, sir, you know she don't work no more. And once Wendy stopped working at the Wendy Williams show, her income stopped, which means his alimony stopped. But I feel like he made so much money. Where did the money go? This is a prime example of when you make a lot of money and keep spending all the money and you don't have any money coming in, it's how you become poor. You have to be able to live within your means and realize once there's no more money coming in that you can't keep spending a whole bunch. You can't afford it no more. And based on how he's done, I mean, sometimes karma come later. Okay, sometime later. Usher is a villain because Usher keeps singing to people who have mates. Now, we saw him singing to Taraji Henson, who was single. We saw him singing to Issa Rae, who was married. We saw him singing to Keke Palmer, who had a boyfriend or whatever, I don't know. Now he was singing to Sweetie. Now, Sweetie she was like, I'm just going to look at you, and that's it. I'm be calm. I'm be calm. And that's and of course I can't pay because he's singing the song. But when he like, oh, you too cool to sing my song, and I was like, I think she don't know smoke, because y'all know Sweetie is dating YG, and Usher around here been a villain. Usher been a villain ever since he tried to steal Sarah from Tom Dubois on the Boondocks. Okay, but I feel like I'm chilling. I'm on chill. I mean, it's Usher. I'm smiling. Look, I feel like if Usher is singing to anybody, you're gonna be a little bit sick. It's Usher. It's Usher. My goddaughter and my best friend Karla were just at his show in Vegas. Now they didn't get sung to directly from him, but they were front row. He was singing right in front of them or whatever. And you know, it's Usher. It's Usher. But so we said, I'm just gonna smile and leave it at that, okay? So I just wanted to see Usher still out here singing to people because that's just what he do. Okay. Now Keke Palmer.
Isn't he lovely? Isn't he wonderful?
Out here singing her man too. Her man, her son. Okay. We all know Keke and that man, her baby daddy, the drama of it all. Now, while Keke has not directly said nothing, we do know they have stopped following each other on social media. We do know her baby daddy has like taken down any pictures of her on his social media. And Keke, you know, was singing her son.
Isn't he precious? 4 months old. You're almost 5 months, Leo.
The baby ain't even 5 months yet.
I never knew through love we'd be making one as lovely as he. Isn't he lovely? Made from love.
So again, he was made from love. You know, that's cute. But Keke, in my opinion, like, you know what I'm saying? Look, it's about my baby. I'm a mother. Okay? I'm a mother. Keke went out and made merch. I'm a mother. Because you're going to be out here as the baby daddy saying, you a mother. Okay, I'm a mother. I'm going to make money off the bullshit of it, okay? I'm a mother merch. Okay. Mm-hmm. I also have Stevie Wonder's the bullshit merch. Okay, I can't see it. I'm Stevie to the bullshit. I can't see it. I say yes, make that merch. Because with my money and my baby, one thing is certain and one thing is true. I'm a mother through and through. Okay? I'm a mother, and Stevie to the bullshit shirts are available. Okay, so all my mom out there, how did your baby change you? Mine empowered me on such another level. My perspective changed because when my baby's good, I'm great. Look at that face. Gratitude galore. Okay? Because it's easy to get like, oh crap, he said this. Now looking at me. Okay, I'm a mother. I'm a mom. That's it. Like, she don't have to even say anything directly to the baby daddy. I'm a mother. You're right. I am a mother. Now, I didn't want them to break up over this, but we don't know what else could have been going on in their life. We don't know before she went out to Usher concert, they was already broken up. We don't know any of that. All we know is she's a mother. Okay? And I'm pretty sure a lot of folks are going to buy her I'm a mother shirts because it's amazing. It's amazing. And I mean, look, he fumbled the bag. By fumble, and I mean money. I mean, Keke to me is a catch. Keke is a legend. Keke been around for a long time. Okay, we don't know him. So that was him being stupid and he got busted. Okay, busted. Now, let's get into. I'm gonna do Monique's thing first, and then we're gonna do Kimmi Maurice last. Okay, but y'all know first things first. I need y'all to like the video. because liking is the thing to do. So we know that Monique and Chris Samuels have filed for divorce. Monique was out of town, honey, doing whatever else when the news broke, but she got candid about what caused the divorce, her living situation, how things are going right now, whatever. Now, again, she was on her live for, it was almost 2 hours. And I cut it down to, I think it was like maybe 15 minutes or whatever. So I like the fact that, I was able to grab only stuff about the divorce for us to discuss. Okay. At the end of the day, divorce is sad. No one wants to be divorced. Let's get into it.
Back in RHOP. Hell no. I love you, but no. So yes, y'all wanted to talk about Costa Rica. Y'all wanted to talk about the divorce. Y'all want to talk about so many things. Y'all have so many questions. Y'all were asking about my children, reality TV, asking if I would return. Absolutely not. So yes, so everybody's talking about divorce. Okay. All right, so yes, Chris and I are going through a divorce. I was not planning on sharing this information until it was finalized. So I actually filed back in April 14th.
I'm surprised when she first filed in April that no one picked it up. Even though we know back in October, that was when people said they were separating and they denied it, but it was true. Okay. I'm surprised no one realized that she filed in April.
We had a mediator, like, throughout this whole process. And when we felt like we got to a point where it was like, okay, we pretty much on the same page with moving forward with things, I did go to the courthouse and file. So a lot of information that was like put out there, it was put out there, number one, while I was on vacation. I was on a meditation retreat in Costa Rica. Y'all wanna know what I'm drinking? I'm drinking Dr. Nettles turmeric ginger tea. It's amazing. So good. I drink it every morning. So yeah, so you listen every morning. Oh, thank you. I loved on radio, like literally my dream job. So yeah, so I was in Costa Rica minding my own black business, and I was on a meditation retreat. So, whether you're the person who seeks a divorce or the person that was asked for the divorce by the other person, either way, the process is very stressful. It's like going through a death, in so many ways. Chris and I have been together for 17 years. We've been married for 11 years.
She kept talking all over the place. I didn't know they've been together for 17 years. That's a long time, because Monique is only like 38, 39 or whatever. So you can change a whole lot, in 17 years, especially being in your 20s, being married, no children. You get older, you grow up, you get kids, life starts to happen. You change.
So yeah, somebody said at the reunion, so y'all talking about Love and Marriage DC. The reunion, that many people believe the reason you did the show was to set up a divorce to Chris. You both laughed, yet here you are. I hope you both find peace. Yeah, so just because we were going through it last year, which we were, last year was very rough. When we were going through our motions and we were trying to figure things out, the goal was not to get divorced. That wasn't where we were last year. Like, even when people said last year that we were going our separate ways and all of that, Chris and I were trying every which way to figure out, like, how do we get that connection back? How do we bring it back together?
I feel like Monique and Chris were headed for divorce. I feel like maybe they did not want that to happen. But being on the outside looking in, I do feel like we all saw a huge disconnect with them two. I feel like it happened more on Love and Marriage DC than it did on Potomac. But there was a clear divide in their marriage. And people felt like Monique wanted to divorce Chris because Chris was more just quiet and Monique was more open and voiceless about how she felt. But I do feel like even though they were trying to fix things, I still felt like y'all were separated.
And so even at that time, it wasn't true. Like, we weren't seeking a divorce. We were separated in a sense of like, okay, you focus on you, I focus on me, and let's see what happens.
That's the definition of a separation. And I feel like I get her saying, because even with Kyle and Mauricio, how people put out they're separated, and then people, meaning, actual people, put the narrative that, okay, if they're separated, then that means they're getting divorced. And sometimes a separation does not mean divorce, But a separation is a separation, meaning right now you both are focusing on yourselves, trying to see how y'all can get back together if you want to do that.
So we have been going through this process, and it's been years, you know, like marriage, as many people know, it has its ups and downs, but you get to a point where you feel like you've reached that moment of like, you know what, are we growing? You know, are we stagnant? Are we moving? Like, what's going on? And then you also have to consider the fact that we have 3 children, you know, who are watching us. Our actions and how we interact with each other, how we run our household, that is literally an example for our children of how they're going to live their life, you know? And I don't want our children to ever be in a relationship where they feel like they're not being heard, whether that's on my side or Chris's side, you know, talking at each other, like the marriage becomes like a battlefield. I
think that's what fans saw on the first season of Love Marriage DC. Like, her and Chris were like always at odds. It always felt like they were trying to prove their own point and not really listen to the other one.
Get to a point where you also have to consider the fact that we have 3 little people that are literally looking at us, and they're taking notes, and they're like, okay, this is what's normal, and it's not normal. So that's where we are. You guys don't have to be sorry. It's just a part of life. Unfortunately, sometimes it happens. Some people stay married forever. Some people don't. My parents were married for 23 years and got divorced. I know couples that have been married for 60 years and they're miserable, and they literally let their whole life just fade away, you know? So it's really what you make it. And if you get to a point where you're like, you know what, we have grown so far apart that it may be best that we focus on ourselves individually and then focus on the 3 important people in our lives, which is our children.
I do agree with that. I do feel like we know people who stay married who are unhappy. And there's a difference between working through hardships in relationships and marriages versus saying at the first sign of issue, I'm leaving. I don't think anyone should give up without trying to work things out. That's for a marriage or even a relationship. But I also feel like if you both realize you tried everything to be happy and y'all are just not happy, haven't been happy for a while, y'all are just different people, I do agree that when you realize that you should divorce. I think we saw it, and maybe both Monique and Chris just did not want to accept that was the truth at the time.
And that's what we decided to do. So let me see. How do you keep out the noise and find your balance and peace during this time? So one of the major things for me has been really finding myself. I've been on this self-love journey. I never realized how much I didn't love myself. That was like a huge revelation, because I always felt because I'm a very secure person, I thought that was self-love. I wasn't aware of myself, you know? I was completely unaware of myself.
I think her saying that, my opinion is, I think how people saw Monique and how she saw herself were 2 different people. And when people would tell her how she came off, I think because she, as she said, did not love herself, I think she didn't get it. I think the Monique we knew on Potomac was one person. The Monique we saw on DC was one other person. I think this Monique is a whole other person too. I do think she's trying to find herself, and that's cool. But I mean, don't make it seem as if like we didn't see shit.
Even watching last year when we were on Love and Marriage DC, I mean, I was going through it. Like, I was yelling, I was upset. That was me crying out. That was me like really fighting. Like, I was like on my last leg fighting for my marriage, and really hoping that we could see where each other was, and try to get on the same page. But when I look back on it, even with the editing trickery, at the end of the day, my response was still my response, you know, and I take accountability for that. And I wouldn't want to be with a person like that. That is just like, yeah. But I also realized that my approach became that because I was so desperate, like, to be heard. I was so desperate, like, come on, we got to make this work. But then you get to a point where you realize that begins to tear you down, yourself and the other person. And then you're trying to pick up the pieces and build it back, and it just becomes this roller coaster, you know? And it becomes more and more difficult.
I'm going to pause on a good part. I think when she's like, you know, how she realized how she came off was kind of crazy. I think we have to acknowledge Chris got very comfortable in their relationship. So that was his mistake in there. I think Monique's issue was because she felt like he wasn't trying to do shit. she then kind of badgered him, but it was because of how long she felt like, well, he don't even care. Like, it's on some bullshit. So both of them played a part in that. So I feel like the way she treated Chris was a direct reflection of Chris not doing what she wanted him to do to help their marriage. And both of them played a part in that being a whole fucking thing. But I never liked how she talked to him. And I like that she now gets the reason she did it. And I'm like, well, girl, don't do it no more. And leave him.
So I did not want to get to that point where now there's so much friction and tension that now we can't even parent our kids. And so many times you see couples take to social media, bash each other. And it's like, how does this help the kids that you're raising?
I not heard about Martell and Melody.
It's awful, and I'm never going to be that person. Like, at the end of the day, the reasons that led Chris and I to be where we are our reasons. That's our business. It's what stays in our house, and our children are the ones that are exposed to those things. They know. They take witness to everything that happens here, you know? And we're trying to do things that will turn it around. And sometimes that doesn't always mean doing it together, you know? So, yeah, we have love for each other. We'll always have love for each other. And we're going to do the very best that we can do to co-parent and raise our children the right way and allow them to see a different type of example of partnership. So we have a new normal. That's what I tell my kids. I'm like, we have a new normal now, you know? So the biggest... we went live with you. No, when I went live and shut down the divorce rumors, that was in October. And I know it was October because it was literally right after my birthday. So yeah, so you're wrong. I'm talking about this past April, like 2 months ago, almost 3 months ago is what I'm talking about. Y'all swear y'all be knowing the timeline. Hello, it's my life. I know exactly what times things are happening over here. So yeah, we've kept it transparent with our children from the beginning. You know, so someone said, how did you know to walk away? I was in therapy.
And the reason I want to play this all out, the whole 15 minutes or whatever, I feel like while she talked a whole lot, what she said about the marriage, the divorce, the decisions to get divorced, I do think it helped other people because we watched her and Chris on that show. We were aggravated with both of them. More of her, but I feel like hearing her admit to how I didn't love myself, I didn't know myself, and she was just, boom, come on now. Sometimes you really can lose yourself in marriage and motherhood, and once she found herself, she realized that her and her husband were no longer compatible, and she was mad. And I think that's what we saw. It was her being upset that she realized I don't want it. This ain't what I want. And he would not bend to change to be better for her, for the family. And she was mad. She was angry. And we saw her anger. And she didn't care because she was angry.
And my counselor asked me, she said, I don't want you to answer this now. She said, but what is it that you want? If you can have the ideal marriage, if you can have everything that it is that you want from a partner, she said, what is it that you want? And she told me to write those things down. So I wrote those things down. Then she said, okay, if he is unable to do those things for you, and he is the same as he is right now, and he never changes, are you able to live life with him for the rest of your life? And she said, I want you to think about it. And the next time we meet, we'll talk about it. But she's like, I don't want you to answer right now. And I took 2 weeks writing down all of the pros, all of the cons, and really, really, really thinking about it. And I just got to the point where I was like, I was in a place where I was so miserable. And it wasn't just like all on him. It was also just with myself, like dealing with my own issues and trauma, understanding myself and why I respond and react the ways I do, going through my childhood. I'm talking about y'all, I've done some work. I've been doing some work, and it wasn't easy. It is not easy to look at the things about yourself that you don't like and that you don't love and say, you know what, I'm going to love me anyway. I'm going to love the bad parts of me. I'm going to love the good parts, which is easier, you know? But even the things that I don't like about myself, I have to really embrace that and love that. Like, oh my God, it has been quite a ride. But I was determined to really do the work and grow. And the more I grew and the more I started to realize myself and I started to create boundaries for myself, that's when I knew I am no longer the person that I was that walked down an aisle 11 years ago. And you get to a point where you just accept the fact that this is the fact. Like, this is where it is, you know? And that's what led me to the point where I was just like, you know what? I feel like this will be best because if we keep going down this road and we're bickering at each other and we're not able to communicate, sometimes not even talking to each other, then how is that going to affect our children?
That's a great point, because she like, me and him can't even talk. We can't communicate. And then we bickering how we raise our kids. I think more people should realize, hey, we not working. Like, we can't even talk. We fussing about shit in front of our kids. And when children see that, they think that's how life is supposed to be. And that creates generational curses of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And in life, you change. Who I was at 20, even at 21, hell, even at 31, I'm not that right now at 41 years old. And if you don't listen to what you are turning into, good or bad, it can have good or bad consequences. And the fact that she said the therapist asked her, you know, if Chris never changed, could you stay with him and be happy? And for her to say, well, I'm really fucking miserable. And not only that, the kids are seeing us unhappy. I feel like Chris was also unhappy. We just have not heard his side. But I'm like, I feel like, I like that she's not blaming Chris. I like that she's owning how she changed, what she liked about herself and who she was. And she had to change all that for her to be better, because all she wants is the best for her kids. That's the best thing to want.
And that's when I started thinking, because I was thinking, like most people, it's like, okay, we're going to stay together for the kids. But that never works, because staying together for the kids means that you're giving them a terrible example of what a relationship should be like, you know? So yeah. So that was that. Yeah. So I know people are like, oh, make it work. But if y'all could understand the amount of growth that has happened since we stopped trying to focus on the marriage, the amount of growth. Y'all see Chris?
Have y'all seen Chris? Have y'all seen Chris? Let me show y'all real fast, because she mentioned it. I want to show it. So, what is this? Lord, I'm the mayor of I just saw some on IG. But let me show y'all Chris's page, because we all know, you know, they used to call Chris Big Boy. Chris was built like a huge football player. We know that. And when she say, you know, we changed for the better, I'm like, you know, to see Chris be slim and trim, you know, when Chris, you know, he just used to be, you know, a bigger boy. You know, Chris was a thickums. You know, and that all has its way of, you know, just being what it is. But just seeing a different Chris, you know, Chris has changed. Chris does look different. Chris out here, you know, Chris looks happier. You know, he's posting more on his social media. He's posting his workouts of him getting stuff together, keep pushing. So her saying, you know, look at Chris, I think it's her way of saying he not sitting around nowhere unhappy. Like we both did the work, and now we're both different people. You know, we're both different. So when she said, look at Chris, I said, look at Chris. You know, Chris has spoke out a little bit on a prior,
like
he, man, I think was it somewhere he said before he got as skinny as he is now, he was saying that once he stopped playing football, how he kind of slipped into depression, and he did not realize that he, you know, that's what it was until him and Monique were separately, you know, working on themselves. So even though Monique went her way and found herself, for her happiness, Chris realized that he had been depressed for years and didn't know it. So I love her saying, like, look at Chris. Like, Chris is better too.
It's like something clicks. And it's like you just go into this almost like survival mode. Like, okay, that may not be working out, but I have so much life to live, and I have to do better for myself. I feel like sometimes in marriage, you can get comfortable. And then when that happens, you know, it's not good for anybody. It's not good for the kids to witness. It's not good for your spouse. So at the moment where it was just like, okay, Now it's like do or die. Now I need to fight for me, you know? But the amount of growth that I've seen in myself and in Chris since we got to this place, and I'm not saying that it hasn't been difficult, but the amount of growth that's happened, even our children, the way that they are seeing us be even more present with them. I am a really good mom. Like, I love being a mother. I love my babies. Y'all know that. Like, y'all see it when y'all are on my page, on Instagram. Like, y'all see it when I post stories. And that's just small portions of some of the things that we do together. I don't put everything on social media, you know? But I love being a mom. I love my babies. And even my children notice a difference in how we're able to parent with us not focusing so much on the marriage. We're just focusing on ourselves and we're focusing on our children. And I hope that I am now, and I won't even say I hope that, I know that right now I am being a far more better example of self-love for our children now than I ever have in my life.
Because if you are a person having to worry about not only your kids and how they feel and what's going on with them, but when you and your person are at odds and you're trying to not upset them, that can take away from your parenting. You know what I'm saying? Because in life, when you're juggling too much and you're trying to keep everything afloat, you don't realize what you can be missing. And what the kids feel like, mama ain't happy with daddy, so we may not get pancakes today. We may only get some Fruit Loops. So it's that like little stuff that can come up, and the fact that the kids still seem very happy. And at one point, she put in here, I think I may have cut it out, where she said, even though they put up, pictures of whatever of them as a family, she's like, they had bad times too, but again, people don't put up bad times. You know what I'm saying?
I've been preaching it to them, but I've not been loving myself properly. When you love yourself, you're aware of yourself, you have boundaries. You have things that you know are your deal breakers. You have things that you know, like, this is what I need. And also, I need to be whole, not because of another person. I need to be whole because of me. And when you start really doing that work and going on that journey, you look at everything different. You know, you really do. It's not been the easiest decision to make, but it's where we are. And, we'll continue being a family. We'll continue to co-parent in a way that is loving. And that's where it is. So no one knows my story. No one knows Chris's story other than us and our children. And I appreciate everybody's opinion and feedbacks.
I think that's her way of saying anybody who's speaking for us, when they say sources say, I think her point is, if you ain't hear from me or from Chris or from our kids, don't believe it.
Feedback and everything. But at the end of the day, there's only 3 opinions that I really care about. And that's Christopher, Milani, and Chase. And that's
her kids. She cares about her kids' opinions, and that's it.
That's it. Did becoming a radio host, going back to work, make you realize this? No, I started this process when I was on Housewives of Potomac. If people who actually go back and watch Real Housewives of Potomac, like, the same complaints that I had have been the same for years, but I also had to look at myself, because it's easy to look outward and say, well, you should do this, this, and this, and you should fix this, this, and this. But when I started doing the work on myself as well and being accountable for myself, that's when everything really starts to make sense, All right, y'all want to know about my living arrangements? Yeah, we're still living together right now.
I said, girl, they living together. Look, I feel like when I realized they were divorcing, I said, but I still see them both posting photos from the house. I was like, they have a really big house. I'm like, so they're still separating. They may still be living together because the house is so big. But I also still feel like if life gonna be different, y'all should probably move out. Okay? But, she discusses why they're doing that for right now.
I'll go ahead and tell y'all, I bought a house back in March. I'm remodeling it right now. It's a beautiful home. I love it. It's 5 bedrooms. It's really nice. On a little over an acre of land, and it's beautiful. I'm really excited about it. I call it my haven. So I'm just waiting to finish the remodel. I want to make sure that the children, they have their own rooms and stuff. So they're like coming up with their theme. They're excited that they have another house added to their list of houses. But yeah, they're telling me like what their themes are that they want for their rooms and how they want their room to look. So they're really excited that they're gonna, like, we are making it a pleasant experience for them.
I love that. Okay. One, her saying I bought stuff is being remodeled, the kids are aware. And sometimes when parents are divorcing, because my mom and my birth father got divorced when I was really young. My mom and my dad, who raised me, met when I was in like the first grade or whatever. And I never felt any kind of way about my mom divorcing my birth father because it was what it was. So I can imagine if you have, I could not have imagined if my mom and my dad, who raised me, would have divorced when he was younger because we were a family. But I love how they're saying, how she's saying that you're making it fun for the kids. Like, it's not about mom and daddy breaking up. You're going to have a new house, a new room. Okay, we still love you. Make it a bit fun for the kids so that way they're not feeling like my whole life is over. They're having a say so in their new space. They are making their own room. So that's fun for the kids.
If Chris and I were at each other's necks and we're arguing and going crazy on each other, it puts the children in an uncomfortable position because they pick up on that energy, And, so it makes it a little bit more pleasant when we can actually get along and have, like, cordial conversation and be amicable. And that's what we've been. We honestly, it's like we argue less and we're able to have a friendlier conversation now,
It happens. This might be a new trend, couples splitting and staying in the same home to not disrupt the lives of the children. Maybe this is a new open relationship. I feel like it probably should depend. I feel like if they don't want to be together and they know they want to live separate lives, I do think staying in the same home, if you can, if you're getting along and the house is big enough, until one of the people is moving out, you know what I'm saying? Because to me, they gonna probably sell their house, in my opinion. Because I'm like, I would assume, well, wouldn't she want to stay in the house with the kids? Or would Chris be like, well, I want to stay here? You know what I'm saying? Will Chris buy a different house as well? I don't know. But Monique said how she bought a new house, was being remodeled. To me, that meant she wanted a whole fresh new start. So I do feel like couples could, should, might stay in the same house until the one of the two finds a permanent home to live in or whatever. So that way the kids feel stable. You're not going from with the house you used to live in to a rental temporary house, whatever. No, mommy, where we gonna go? So I think what they did is a bit smarter, because I'm gonna buy somewhere, renovate, and then that's our home, and I'm not having any kind of temporary move because I'm so pissed off at him. I gotta go. Okay. And right, they have the money and space to do that. And at one point, she wanted to have a house. I think it's like 12,000 square feet. So again, it's separate. And she has the money to, even like with Ashley and Michael Darby on Potomac, how her and him stayed in the house because they were rich, and it was just a time of her finding a house. And then once she did, she moved out. So girl, it's crazy.
So yeah. Oh, so someone asked a really good question. Someone asked, do you think reality TV played a role in the demise of your marriage? And honestly, actually it's crazy, Chris and I were talking about this. When we started doing reality TV, we were not in a great place. Like, that was back in 2016, and I was ready to leave. I was ready to dip out. Like, I was very upset, and it was for different reasons. Like, back then it was just like we weren't dating anymore. Like, the connection felt like it was gone. It was like all about the kids. I had just had Milani. And then once we started doing reality TV, in so many ways, and I've said this before in an interview with Bryce Sanders with ET Entertainment Tonight, in so many ways, doing RHOP actually gave our marriage new life, because it really got us out the house. It gave us something else to focus on. We were having fun again, when we were filming and doing couples things, we were like hanging out and dating, and it kind of gave us new life. So honestly, it added more years on to our marriage. But then when you have deep-rooted issues, they tend to resurface, so they never really go away just because you have more things to do or you get busier. And that's pretty much what happened. We got busy, and all the activity overshadowed some of the major issues that we were dealing with because we really didn't have time to address it.
The crazy part is, for her to say they were in a really bad place then, I'm like, well, damn. Because that was 8 years ago. No, 7 years ago. So to know that they got 7 more years out of their marriage, they had been married for 11. but 7 years ago they were in a horrible place. So the fact that the show, as she said, helped them by getting out the house, dating, being social. I'm like, well, thank God for that, because it also brought another baby.
So yeah, I wouldn't say that reality TV was a factor in why we are where we are. I wouldn't agree with that at all. Actually, it gave us years. So yeah, you know.
But I do feel like if Potomac helped their marriage, you know, for that time, I do feel like DC was like the nail in the coffin.
The thought of it, I hate it. I never thought that we would be here. You know, when I married, when we got married, I mean, I truly believed. I was just like, oh no, it's not an option. I mean, an advocate always for marriage, you know? Always wanted to be married. Always wanted to have that partnership and have a family since I was a little girl. So to get to this moment was devastating. But at the end of the day, I had to get to a point where I also was like, I really need to do what's best for me, my mental space, our children, and that's where we are. So yeah, so the dynamic it's shifting. You know, maybe my story will save someone's marriage. You know, maybe we'll wake up and see ourselves. I know when Love and Marriage DC aired last year, and a lot of women were really upset. They were like, how are you talking to Chris like that? You know, they weren't seeing the whole conversation. Of course, with reality TV, you're going to show the part where I'm amped up. You ain't show it led up to the reaction. You're just going to show the reaction. But at the end of the day, I still said what I said, how I said it. And I remember a woman, actually a couple women came up to me, and one of the ladies said, she was so mad at me. Like, I'm watching the show, and she's like, I was furious at you. I couldn't believe that you were talking like that. And then she said, and then I sat back and tried to figure out, why am I so mad? And then she said, oh my God, it's because that's me. And she realized her watching me and her getting so upset about it was actually her seeing herself. And she said after watching that, it actually helped her be more mindful of her tone and how she translated what she needed to translate to her husband. And I was like, wow, that was powerful. And I told her, I was like, you know, it was a miserable experience. Being on Love and Marriage DC was awful. It was the worst reality TV experience I've ever experienced. I thought RHOP was bad. That was 20 times worse. For so many different reasons. But it was good for me because it allowed me to see myself, and it allowed me to it allowed me to get to a point where I no longer cared about other people's opinion of me. I cared more so about my opinion of me. And I didn't like what I saw. And I said, whoa, we got to make some changes. So I had to completely kill my ego. Anybody that follows me on Twitter, last year, that was all I was posting about, you know, and tagging, you are enough. All of those messages that I post on Twitter and that I post on Instagram, that's me preaching to me. And I share it because I want it to hopefully help somebody else. So yeah, you bought a house before you filed. Yeah, so I'll give y'all a little tea. Before we filed, we were already in mediation. So we were mediating, and we decided that we wanted to handle how we would handle the exit of our marriage in a way that we wanted to do it together. So we used a mediator. So I had already started looking for houses, like 2-3 months prior, while we were in mediation. So January is when we knew this is where we were headed. And then 4 months later is when I finally filed. So yes, I did. And a part of that process was also wanting the transition to be smooth, because I wouldn't want to move out of this house and then I have a temporary living situation where the children aren't comfortable. So that wouldn't make sense. So yeah. Why'd you leave Love and Marriage DC? Because the contract wasn't right. Simple as that. The contract wasn't right. I was negotiating a contract for weeks and weeks and weeks. And nobody wanted to move. So I said, well, shit, I ain't moving either then. So that's that. How is it still living in the same house while getting a divorce? It has its ups and downs. You know, sometimes like we don't even see each other. I'd be at one end of the house, he at the other end of the house. Thank God we got a big house. Like, it's 12,000 square feet. It's basically like we live in separate. Yes. All right, y'all. I'm going to let y'all go. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. All right, peace and blessings. I love you all. Thank you so much for your support and your love and your shade and everything else in between.
And that was that on that. So look, I liked her live because she cleared up a whole lot again. The live was over an hour and a half. And I was able to pull out, it was 17 minutes of what she said about the marriage. Now, let's get into Maurice and Kimmi's interview from, what's it called, girl? Fox Soul, KTGIF. Now, they probably changed the name because they come on every day now, not on Fridays. But Maurice and Kimmi, who we know have been facing backlash and all this stuff from Maurice's interview with Carlos King that came on, that was like 2 weeks ago. We had not heard from Kimmi. I don't think Kimmi's done any interviews recently that I can recall. But when I saw Funky Dineva post how they were going to be on it, I was like, wait, Maurice and Kimmi? I was like, hold up. So
love it.
We're gonna go through it, okay? Now I kind of cut it up to get one part out the way about the co-parenting, then we'll go into the whole thing with Carlos and Maurice's interview, okay? I was like, Lord Jesus.
Marriage Huntsville, we're seeing you all open up about the struggles of co-parenting, which is very commendable, I must say. But let me ask you a question. What do you think is the biggest challenge that you two are facing when it comes to co-parenting? And question number 2, how are you working through it?
Maurice ain't shit. Maurice ain't nothing. Look, when I was watching the interview, I felt like it was very cringy. It was very intense. I feel like they should not have done it because to me, Kimmi and Maurice have not fully addressed his actions, his words, in a way that means Maurice has heard Kimmi say, I don't like what you did, and him as a husband should have corrected himself. So it was like 17 minutes, maybe like 16 minutes or whatever. And the whole time I was like, Maurice, no. Kimmi, no. Even them asked about the co-parent, I'm looking like, Maurice is an asshole who don't know how to co-parent with his wife. It's weird.
Difference of opinions in what raising kids, period.
And I want to say this part of the interview was towards the end. I put it up front because it was like, one of y'all see Funky asking them stuff or whatever, and Clay talking, like when Al came in and asked this, I'm like, Al, this is so weird. Like it was at a weird point that I was like, it's crazy. So this was in the middle part, but I put it at the beginning to just get out the way.
Like the amount of responsibilities, I think for me right now is the amount of responsibilities that I feel children should have, and us as parents should enforce. And I think he's a little more lax in that particular area. And so it causes us a little, head bump trying to raise a teenager.
Yeah. And the crazy part is, because Funky at one point was supposed to a little bit later on, was saying that, Kimmi, you look uncomfortable or whatever. And she did. I also feel like us talking to them now, knowing that they filmed this, months prior, and you would think by Maurice seeing how he comes off, he would rectify that. But he don't. That's what's crazy. Like, he see what he say, and he never thinks to correct it. And I think that's the part that aggravates Kimmi. And Kimmi in this interview did seem like she was uncomfortable with Maurice not addressing his bullshit.
I think that the fact that Kimmi has raised Jaylen, and Jaylen is doing excellent and amazing right now, is a feather in her cap as far as that she's already been there, done that. We're raising Monster right now, and even though things are different, even with Monster and Jaylen.
Now, Kimmi, to me, she does look uncomfortable. And sometimes that can mean, I know he's gonna say some shit that he ain't supposed to say, so I'm kind of on guard. Or they could have had a little argument, but I don't know. But Kimmi did seem a bit uneasy.
Sometimes we still have a difference of opinion, even though I know that she's been successful in raising a young man.
You've been very transparent.
So that was all they talked about as far as co-parenting. The rest of this was crazy. Now you see they smiling right here.
With your journey with breast cancer, why was it important for you to use your platform to share this journey?
Initially, it actually wasn't. Maurice, actually, we had a long conversation where he felt like I needed to kind of look at the bigger picture. I can be a pretty good recluse, to be perfectly honest. And when I was first diagnosed, I kind of wanted to go away and take care of whatever I need to take care of. And so after thinking it through, it just made sense with the platform that we have that I can help way more people continuing on the platform than kind of going home and deal with it by myself.
Okay, good. We don't got all the good and warm and fuzzies out the way. Now here, this how this gonna go at this point. Maurice, I don't want no backpedaling and no pussy popping, and I don't want no talking in circles as no lawyer. I don't want no politician answers. I want direct answers. Don't baffle me with bullshit.
Don't baffle me with bullshit. I'm like, because Funky know how Maurice can get. I like that this interview was real. Okay, it's like, don't come around here with your BS. I don't want it.
Gonna get down to the nitty gritty. Now, Kimmi, we like to give you the opportunity. What you say?
I'm not that good, you know that.
Okay, well, we gonna see. Kimmi, I like to give you the opportunity to respond to a headline. A sad case of a man, Love and Marriage Huntsville fans slam Maurice for demanding intimacy while Kimmi goes through chemotherapy. Kimmi, what is your response to the backlash that Maurice has been getting lately?
Because remember, Kimmi hasn't got any backlash. Kimmi has only gotten support from the people because none of us liked what Maurice said on the TV show and then what he also said when talking to Carlos King in that interview.
So here's the thing, like originally, I didn't even watch it. He told me he had an interview with Carlos, and usually I just kind of get the nuts and bolts of it. You know, he was like, well, we did this. He asked me about that, and I didn't do anything. And then when
I agree. His face the whole time aggravated me because even when Funky asked Kimmi how she felt about the headline, how she felt because we had not heard from her. The fact that as a grown-ass man, Maurice didn't say, before Kimmi said it, let me apologize for what I said, how I said it, and blah, blah, blah. Because as we now know, him and Kimmi had already talked about how she did not like the words he used. So I felt like the fact that he never took the time to say, hey, before she even answer, let me first say I'm sorry, blah, 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 blah. Still let her have her say, but sir, you on some bullshit.
Saw stuff just kind of everywhere. I was like, oh my gosh, what did you say? I literally was like, what did you say? And so one of the comments somebody keeps screenshotting around is the fact that I said, let me go see the interview. And people were like, I don't believe she hasn't seen it. And I just got life. Like, we got stuff. So when
I also feel like a lot of people don't understand, everybody don't watch everything. You know what I'm saying? Everyone don't watch the full, like I still have not watched the full interview between Maurice and Carlos. So I'm not surprised that Kimmi did not watch the interview. Most people only saw that clip. Most people did not go back and watch the full thing because all anyone was upset with was that clip. So Kimmi probably did not see this shit because why would she watch an interview with her husband and Carlos? We together. I don't have to watch that shit. Nobody even knew about the interview until days later when the clip went viral.
I actually did see it. I told him, I said, that was disrespectful. Like, the words that you chose were cruel to me. It wasn't protecting me. The irony of the conversation in itself was that if you actually watch the show, I'm the one who initiated the conversation in regards to the fact that the chemo has affected my libido. And I know that affects him and his sexual injuries. So he has never forced me to do one single thing. He has never made me. He has never implied he was going to leave me. So the headlines, in order to get likes and tags, I absolutely get it. But the words that he chose to use throughout that interview, I felt were a bad choice of words in regards to me because it didn't protect me.
And that's the gotcha. Because I kept saying, I was like, the interview he had with Carlos was way after him and Kimmi had talked about how she felt. So he used word to me. Maurice and Carlos had a conversation, and Maurice used words that he knew would get attention and would go viral. You hear me? And her saying, I told him once I saw it, it was cruel. I didn't like it. It did not protect me because, again, it made people feel like, oh, now she's a victim. Now she's stupid to be with him. You know, he's taking it from her. And that wasn't what happened. Now, also, folks who saw the clip, who did not watch the show, who did not see the conversation between Kimmi and Maurice, may not have, but that's why I said when I reviewed the interview, I said, Kimmi told him on the show, hey, I really don't even have the same drive as you. But I said, once he knew that, he should have used different words to discuss what happened. Even him saying, I still need sex. You know, I still need it. You know, she round there taking this, she's taking it. Like, he said stuff that sounded cruel. He said things that sounded disrespectful. He did say stuff that would make people look at Kimmi as weak, in my opinion. And that wasn't true. And the fact that she's sitting up there and she's being honest about how she did not like it. He's up there not saying shit, oh, bald head bastard. He up here being bald and bold and not beautiful and supporting his wife. Because why not even say, hey, babe, I'm sorry. I should not have. And him letting Kimmi sit here having to defend herself. Because she's having to defend herself. Because he just can't say, sorry, I used the wrong words. He can't say sorry, say, well, I never forced her to do it, you know, but once I found out how she felt, I never tried to have sex with her unless she wanted it. He never put out any fire he created.
In the words that he chose to use to describe, like, I think he said, bend over and take it. That's like ridiculous. Like, that's ridiculous. And I told him, I said that.
He looked like a teenager he looked like Monster who don't care what's being said. And the one thing about, I feel like is horrible is even in this moment, he's not supporting Kimmi at all. In this moment, he's not supporting Kimmi. In this moment, she's defending herself and said how she did not like what he did. She's upset what he did. He used the bad words. I was the one who told him that my libido changed. He wasn't forcing me, blah, 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 blah. I kept saying, anytime after the fact he knew Kimmi did not want sex, if he expected sex, he ain't shit.
That was awful. The wording choice was awful.
You know,
I want to jump in and say something real quick.
This is also why I feel like when we have shows and it's, you know, more men than women, we need space where women can speak on women things. Because had Claudia not came on and said what she said and speak on how she spoke from a woman's point of view, because to me, Funky and Al can't understand Kimmi because they not us. So I feel like I love the fact that Claudia took the gloves off and said, I can't be fake and fugazi, whatever. No man, no settle, thank you. I'm going to speak from my gut and say how I feel.
I was horrified too with some of the language. And I spoke about having a situation where it was the reverse. I had a man that had some issues. I want to ask both of you. Kimmi, I want to ask you first, do you feel the pressure? Like, if I don't satisfy my man, even when I don't feel good, am I nervous? Do I feel a way about the future of my marriage? And Maurice, if you could take back what you said, would you rephrase it or do you stand on exactly what you said?
So for me, like I said, we filmed it and everything. For Kimmi, I never felt like he was going to leave me. That wasn't the case whatsoever. However, even before our chemo issue came up, we already had conversation about our sex life.
Because y'all remember when they were going on that trip to, I think, either the Vegas, it was one of the trips they was going on. And Maurice kept on saying that, okay, on the trip, you know, because we had sex like multiple times a day. Kim said, well, no. So we've seen, maybe it was the retreat trip where Maurice felt like because they were going on a trip, on a vacation of some sort, that they should have sex more. And Kimmi felt like, well, no, we should not. I'm not a robot. So we already knew, if you watched the show, we already knew Maurice always wanted more sex. And even though Maurice maybe has never said, if I don't get sex, I will leave you, I think Kimmi is fully aware that he needs sex in order to not do some bullshit down the line. Because Kimmi know what Maurice like. We'll say that. However, when he wants more of it, you are aware that you have to kind of give in, because if not, it's gonna be some bullshit. Anytime you know, if we don't do it, I know he gonna need it, so I have to do it. It's crazy. It's crazy. So he may have never said, if you don't, I'm gonna leave you. But I think in the back of her head, she know if what he needs he don't get, something gonna happen.
We talked about our sex life before we got married. So this is like an honest statement. In Kimmi's world, I had made up in my head 7 days was the limit. Like, I would never make my husband go more than 7 days. I don't care if we're angry. I don't care what's going on. That was always Kimmi's rule in her head.
That should have been Kimmi's rule before Kimmi was diagnosed with cancer and was getting chemo and radiation. I feel like in marriages, in relationships, okay, if you want to say I won't go a week without giving my husband sex, that's not bad. That's fine. However, while you're fighting cancer, there should be an exception to that rule. That, you know what? I can't have sex right now. I can't. I don't feel like it. I'm tired. I'm sick, Negro.
And so in this case, we went about 2 weeks and I was like, ugh. So it was my choice because I know.
The fact that she said it had been about 2 weeks while she's fighting cancer, she's still worried that they have not had sex. Now, she already told us her libido gone. She don't really want sex. You know? But she know he needs it, as he said before. So 2 weeks of them not having sex because she's battling cancer. And she thought, damn, we got to do something.
Oh, that's fulfilling for both of us. It's fulfilling for both of us. Like, at the end of the day, he's not the only one missing out. I'm missing out because I don't have the same climax. I don't have the same arousal, you know?
And this where I feel like Kimmi on bullshit. Kimmi, in my opinion, Kimmi talked a lot in this interview because we had not heard from Kimmi much. I think that's great. But Kimmi, in my opinion, is trying to defend Maurice. So he don't have to say shit. Because in her responses, she's putting the blame, for lack of a better term, on herself. She's putting the responsibility on herself. That, you know, I miss sex. It's like, yeah, but you don't even want it right now because of your cancer diagnosis and what's going on. Your body has changed. And if you miss sex and you're not even getting the same satisfaction from it because right now you don't want it, you're only doing it because you don't get the same feeling no more.
What I'm saying? So I never had that conversation based on the fact that I thought he was going to leave. I know I love my husband and that is a big part of our world. I don't physically hurt. It doesn't hurt me to have sex. It doesn't do that whatsoever. It was just the arousal of the moment and the climax that is very different for me. So I'm just not getting the same fulfillment out of the sexual activity that he was.
We got it.
when Kimmi, and I'm not calling Kimmi a liar. What I will say is, Kimmi has said on the show that she's just tired. You know, with chemo, with radiation, you know, she had been really tired. And I feel like Kimmi saying, you know, having sex, it did not physically hurt her. Okay, fine. However, I still feel like there were times when if there's one time a person should be able to rest and not worry about having sex because their body is going through things, is when you're fighting some kind of, you know, battle with some kind of ailment, and when you just had a baby or just lost a baby, because your body is different. And you know, saying how you don't get a rock, meaning I don't get horny, and when we had sex, I don't have an orgasm. So you're saying that the best part of sex you're not getting, even though it does not physically hurt you to have sex. You're only doing it because he wants it, even though you're battling cancer. And I feel like that's a time a husband should not give a fuck about having sex. You have 5 fingers on one hand and 5 on the other. You can have a threesome if you want to. Okay? She keeps accepting it as if, she keeps talking about it as if it's not him. Now, she said that she did not like what he said, but she still defended him as if, but it ain't no issue that we still have sex. It's crazy.
So let's get Maurice in here. Maurice, do you think it was selfish for you to force your wife to suffer through it while she was fighting for her life? Your words.
Your words. Now, those are my words. And I'm going to own the words that I say.
Also, just to mention, excuse me, when Kimmi was just answering, she was responding back to Claudia. Claudia asked Maurice if he would rephrase and take it on. He ain't say shit. That's the first time someone gave him the chance to say, hey, I said the wrong thing. He still didn't say shit. He let Kimmi talk and he let Kimmi defend him.
However, you have to take everything into full context. I didn't have knowledge of her suffering. I didn't have knowledge of her rolling over and giving it to me when she didn't want to.
This is the gotcha, Maurice Baldy, because he makes me mad. I feel like what he said is truthful. He did not know until Kimmi told him that day in the car. He didn't know. Cool. But you knew all of this on that interview with Carlos. And you still sat up there and talked as if, well, she's supposed to do it. We're married. You know, she stuck by me. Stuck through it. Grinned and buried it. Like you said all of that after finding out. No one is judging you for anything that you said before she told you. We're judging you based on what you said once you knew.
Right? Or didn't feel the need to. At the end of the day, this is the thing. She surprised the hell out of me on television. Talking about, you know what? I'm not getting it. I'm faking it. All that stuff. Like, listen.
Now he upset because she was faking it. Now he's saying she surprised me. You know, she surprised me on TV. Oh, So the point is, at no point did you say, hey, you got, you know, we don't, babe, I know we always have sex because I need sex. You know what? Until you're fully healed, we do not have to have sex. I don't want it because I want you to be good. Kimmi kept fucking him because she knew he wanted sex, period.
It's on national TV. So I'm like, oh, really? So you're faking it. This whole time I'm thinking that you're doing it. And it puts everything into context when you watch the television show.
No, sir.
And then you actually see the interview because.
No, sir.
For me to find out that she's faking it, and then for me to analyze the situation and say, it's admirable for her to do this because, number one, most people that do things for you let you know that they're doing it for you.
Again, he's blaming Kimmi. This was so cringy because he's not going to go on this whole long explanation as to why, well, you know, I didn't know, you know, I was surprised. you know. And when someone is doing, because she was doing it for me, you know. So if someone's doing something for me, sir, once she told you, motherfucker.
They don't let you find out later on, oh, wow, you were actually hurting or you were going through something and you were sharing that.
Kimmi, this was so cringy because I feel like Kimmi's body is reacting and disagreeing. In her mind, she's probably saying, oh, you motherfucker, you. She's saying stuff in her head that she can't say out loud.
And you were doing it for me. So, of course, I would change my words and give better context in any type of interview. However,
we don't need a however. Of course, I would change my words. Of course. However, it should be a however. It shouldn't be a however.
I still think
so you don't
do it.
You don't think it was a little cringy to even want to have sex with her while she was going through that? And I ask that because typically if somebody's not feeling well, we don't make them cook. We don't make them wash the dishes. We may not make them take the kids to school, and all of those things are oftentimes considered a wife's duty. You didn't think it would be all right for her to forego that one duty while she was going through this?
See, this
is the gotcha. When Kimmi was first diagnosed, and, you know, we were seeing all that happen last season, you know, even hearing how we seen Marceau came over to cook for her, how Mel was like, I wasn't enough for food or whatever. My thing is, there were things Kimmi wasn't doing. We know that from watching the show. The fact that you did not want her to not have sex, like that wasn't something that she could also not do. You can order food and have folk cook because she's tired. Can't nobody tell me that Kimmi at sometimes was not dog tired. You know what I'm saying? And even if she had 1 or 2 days of strength, why use that strength on fucking Maurice? It's bullshit. Okay. Thank you, Ava, for the simple chat. I haven't had cancer, but I had C19. I was sick for 3 months with double pneumonia. My husband watched me sleep because he thought I was going to die. We didn't do anything for months. He's disgusting. I'm glad you said that because I think not a lot. Because y'all know I had COVID. So I had COVID. Y'all know last year in January. Y'all know I was in the hospital for a week. I came home. It took me months. Like I still now be having little issues, you know, because I'm more susceptible to, you know, this illness. You know what I'm saying? When the air was fucked up here, I got sick because my system is different after having COVID. However, when I was sick with COVID, I didn't get horny. I didn't. It was so stupid. It was so dumb. And like my body, it was. Again, I had not had cancer, but like it didn't work for months. You know what I'm saying? And you just have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And while I was recovering from COVID, I was so tired. Like y'all saw how I was. I was tired. I couldn't breathe sometimes, and sometimes I did not have energy. Like I did not get like a little bit better till around August. From January to around August, it was a shit show. And cancer was worse because they're putting poison in your body to cure you. And while I was getting better, we just couldn't, we just couldn't have sex. It was what it was. And no one should force anything on anybody. And I just feel like Maurice can't tell me that he did not understand that her body was still healing. She was still getting chemo and radiation. So our bodies as women, the faucet sometimes get cut off where you do not get horny. Your body does not compute. Sierra, I have had cancer, and the physical toll it takes on your body is one thing, but the emotional toll is something else. Maurice is wild for this. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's bullshit that he's making it seem like, oh, it's no big deal. It's like, it is. Why could she not have sex? Because he still wanted it. So all the time he's trying to make it seem as if, well, I didn't know. I had no idea. And then it's like, no, you could have still just use your common sense and say, hey, until you're better and you're done fighting cancer, we do not have to have sex. Had you said that, Kimmi would have never grinned and buried it.
That's the thing. We weren't doing on the days she wasn't feeling good. Unless I didn't know that either.
Interesting.
Honey, Claudia and Funky were the Al, and Al didn't say shit. All Al said was that one thing about the kids at the beginning. Al didn't say much at all. Because Funky and Claudia was getting their ass together, and I feel like Al should have shut up. Period.
Can you ask you earlier, would you rephrase anything that you said? Because it seemed your wife just revealed that it was your words, right? And how you said things, bend over and take it. If you, I've done this many times. I've said stuff and it's like, I wish I would have said it like this. Would you rephrase anything? Would you do over? Or are you like, no, I meant it exactly.
Definitely. Anytime my wife feels like she's not protected by whatever I do, that's my job.
You see how he's not answering the question? It's a direct question. He's not answering.
That's why God gave her to me, is to make sure that I have a covering and protection over her at all times. And if she feels like my words are crass, then I'll change my words. I'm not one of those people that say, man, I said what I said. Now, mind you, that's a great quote and everything else that goes.
The fact that he said, if my wife felt like my words were crass, I would change it. She told you they were. And he's still defending what he said, even by him saying, oh, I would change the words. But it's a but, it's a however. It's never clear cut. What I said wasn't the best. I'm sorry for how I said it. I 100% should have rephrased it. And if I could go back in a time machine, I would. He still won't say that.
Around social media, I said what I said. I don't even know where that came from. But
Candy.
I'm not those people. It came from
Candy on the Housewives of Atlanta. She said it on one of the reels.
But I'm not one of them. I said what I said. I said what I said. Hold on. Let me say it better the next time.
So I know y'all probably been through this, and we know Martell and Melody have gone through this. The fans have been voicing their opinion about Maurice's remarks, and many of them are saying, Kimmi should leave the relationship. Obviously, you're not going nowhere. But has all this scatterbutt from the fans affected you guys' relationship in any way?
It should. It should, in the effect of Maurice won't even understand how he continuously doesn't protect Kimmi.
I actually really don't care what people say that don't love me. Like, they love me one day and they hate me the next. I really care what Kimmi says. If Kimmi says it offends her, guess what? I'll be changing. If Monster says it offends him, Jaylen, any of the kids, guess what? I'll change.
But Kimmi did say it. Kimmi said, I did not like it what you said. I did like it did not defend me. And my thing is, even if you, and a part of me feel like you owe Kimmi a public apology because you said something publicly that she did not like. You know she did not like it. You owe that lady a public apology. This is the perfect time for a public apology. Just saying.
But
I think that's
being on, television that we have to take a lot of comments, whether we agree, don't agree. I usually take most of them with a grain of salt most of the time. However, I think, some of our fans to me just go overboard, like really for real. But in general, I felt like a lot of them were warranted that the communication, it was crass. I mean, it was crass and, non-protecting, disrespectful. A lot of those comments were on point.
So Kimmy's saying to him, Yes, it was crass. I don't. She's saying in front of him how much she don't like it, and look at his face. Look at his face. The fact he's still sitting up there as an that's no big deal. Oh, okay. You just said if it offended Kimmi, I would address it, and she's telling you this. And let's watch Maurice.
And I gotta say this as the woman here, and I'm sorry, Al, I know you haven't had a chance to say anything. I still haven't heard him rephrase it in a kinder way right here on the show. I've been trying to give you the opportunity because I feel like your wife is protecting you more than you're protecting her.
Boom.
I feel like she's protecting your rep, and I'm like, Kimmi, I should have said it like this. I'm sorry. And it's like, I feel so bad for her. Like, I can't imagine going through what she's going through, you saying that, and then me asking you twice if you would rephrase it, and you said, yeah, but you really haven't. It seems like it's more about you than her still, in my opinion.
And she gave him 2 or 3 times, and so did Funky. I feel like, look, in my opinion, Funky got them on the show. I feel like Funky, who has a connection to them. I feel like Funky fully was the one who was like, you know what, let's get him on. It'll give him a chance. It'll give Keke. It'll give Kimmi a chance to state her opinion on how she felt. It'll give him a chance to apologize because he can't still feel that way after seeing the backlash. And they keep giving him the time to address it and apologize because Kimmi is saying she's offended. And he just hasn't.
It's just my opinion. And you can tell me shut the fuck up if you want to. It's just my opinion,
No, I understand where you're coming from. And what I said is you got to get it in the context. I'm not going to rephrase. You said, would I rephrase it? Yes, I would rephrase it. But at the end of the day,
it's the but. It's the but. It's the but.
We're talking about this because I've already said something, right? There's no taking it back. There's no ringing that bell. That bell's rung. That's why we're here. At the end of in the future, what I will do is I'll make sure that my wife feels protected.
Where's the I'm sorry?
I don't feel any different about the situation.
See? So all or any backlash that Maurice gets, he deserves it. Because to make it seem as if I feel the same. It's like, how?
At the end of the day, my wife did something that most people won't do. Simply, she put her personal feelings aside. I never wanted her to do anything that was uncomfortable. I wanted her to stop working. I wanted her to put everything to the side and let's get better. So when she's doing things to find a sense of normalcy in life, guess what? I don't know, because I'm not inside of her, what makes her feel good, what doesn't make her feel good, when she's feeling good, when she's not.
However, so when Maurice gets all the hate comments, all that stuff, he gonna deserve it because he keeps defending what he said while Kimmi is saying, I don't like what he said. I was offended at what he said. It was some bullshit by what he said. And he's still sitting up there defending what he said.
So at the end of the day, you know what?
I don't want to belabor a point, but I just can't help but notice, Kimmi, you look very uncomfortable right now.
Me?
Yeah, are you?
No, see, I'm not uncomfortable. What's funny, I guess, to me is that listening to the questions, and sometimes I think that he doesn't always answer the question at hand. And so I'm not uncomfortable at all. But sometimes in my head, I'm like, that's kind of not what she said. Or like, she kind of hit you the ball 2 times and you kind of let it go 2 times.
So she's again saying, hey, you had the chance to fix this and you're not doing it. Kimmi is aggravated. She may not be uncomfortable, but she's aggravated with him. And she can't go off how she wants because it's live.
So I'm not uncomfortable, but in my head, I'm just trying not to interrupt him or guide his answer in another direction. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just trying to listen to, his
bullshit,
his response.
I understand what you're saying, Kimmi, woman to woman. I think your husband loves you. It's obvious you love him. There's clearly a disconnect in the communication as a third party looking in. And I'm no expert because I'm not married. You guys are. But I've been in relationships that are similar to this. And my advice would be, Maurice, you don't have to be inside of her to know how she thinks she's your wife. You see her every day. You know when she's sad. You know when something hurts her feelings. And Kimmi, I think you really protect him because there's a public light on y'all, and I get it.
That's what it is. Kimmi, like, because, and I feel like there is always a measure of, hey, you don't fuss in public. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to cuss you out in the car. I'm going to cuss you out at home. We're not going to argue in public. I get that. However, I hope Kimmi cussed his ass out when the cameras went off. You hear me?
Because you don't want the public coming for your man. You love him. But at the end of the day, you can't fully heal from anything when you're emotionally fucked up. And Maurice, your job is to make sure your wife feels good and, bend over and take it. This would be the perfect opportunity to rephrase it. You don't have to. I've been pushing it. You don't have to. But it would have been nice to hear some kind words to rephrase that. Because if I heard a man say that about me, I'd be fucking horrified. Never. And she has to already go through so much. And you said it. Your wife is willing to go. I've been with a fine ass man that are beautiful and everything is perfect in our relationship. Not perfect, but things are good in our relationship. But I'm turned off from something small. I couldn't imagine going through chemo and what that feels like. And then having the magnifying glass of reality.
I feel like as Claudia's talking, Kimmi probably wants to cry. I feel like Kimmi is fully hearing Claudia, and the fact I think she also probably felt like maybe Maurice would speak up. But Claudia is speaking truth about the whole thing. Period.
Show, talking shit. Just be mindful as a couple because it will tear you apart. Been there, done that. I'm not telling you this from someone that hasn't. And I really hope y'all get through this because there is love, obviously. But the communication it's like you guys are going like this, And I don't know if y'all, it sounds like talking at each other or not.
So Maurice and Kimmi, we love y'all so much.
And that was the end of the interview. Again, it ended real, not abruptly, but I feel like because, Maurice just did not want to address his fucked upness. And Claudia, I love how she spoke and just said, I think Claudia said what we all felt. It's fucked up communication. You protecting him. Y'all love each other, cool. However, this is the finagle bullshit. Holy. And Claudia, who was also sick, as you can hear her voice, was like, it's some bullshit all up and through here. Girl, I really want to see how this is addressed at the reunion. If Carlos don't bring this up at the reunion, and if Maurice still double down, or at that point, it'd be triple down on what he said, Kimmi, let us stay there. Like, I feel like we can't, I'm not saying she should leave him for this, but I do feel like it should be some boundaries put up because Maurice is on some bullshit. Okay. Anyway, y'all, I know I said we won't be here long. It's been 3 fucking hours. I did not plan on 3 hours. I did not. Okay. However, okay, a good time was had by all. I hope you all like the video. I hope you all have subscribed. I will be live tomorrow for Love and Marriage Huntsville. And whatnot. I gotta go. Okay. Do not accept anybody not protecting you and you protecting them on a regular basis. Okay. Sometimes it gotta be fucked up person. Okay. And I'm like, Kimmi has the right to be like, Maurice, get out my face. I'm done. Okay. Anyway, y'all, I had a good time had by all. Okay. We discussed a whole bunch of stuff and whatnot, but I love you. Okay. Have a good rest of y'all day. I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner on IG, Twitter, TikTok. I gotta go. Bye.
try.